Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the Minds by Macro Records. We are your hosts.
I'm Downlow'd.
I'm Madsen. Welcome to another week of
madness,
good stories and fun
life
things.
And death and sickness and health and marriage and divorce.
I mean, sure. All those things could potentially be here.
Sweet and salty.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
What is is that like a thing?
Sweet and salty? Yeah. It's most definitely a thing.
What is that?
Have you ever had
Is that like a chip?
I mean, no, I've had like a sweet and salty granola bar. Oh, it's good.
That's like okay, I told Alex a while back that I had the it was like the candied bacon BLT from Arby's, and it's just like that's kind of supposed to be a sweet and salty thing, right? Sweet and savory. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it. It was too it was like all sugar. It just tasted like I was eating like a bun with like mayonnaise.
That doesn't sound appetizing.
Lettuce and tomato and sugar.
I mean, I encouraged you to start watching Iron Chef, right?
I have watched it.
So, like, you see in Iron Chef, like, whenever they're given something, like a flavor like that can overpower something, they always, like...
They find
balance.
like a balance, yeah. But I don't think that Arby's is really all that concerned with that. Like, I think that, okay, so I think that, especially in Chinese food... or American Chinese food, there's a largely sweet and savory profile, like sweet and sour chicken. Mm-hmm. General Tso's dude, I watched a documentary actually, The Search for General Tso. Have you seen that?
I've seen it on Netflix, but I have not watched it.
I fell asleep while I was watching it.
It sounds like something.
It's really
fall asleep to.
It's really like a documentary that should only be like 20-25 minutes, but they drag it on for
like an hour.
It's kind of cool that they go to China and they figure out that General Tso was a real person, and he's like, in some community, he's like very high regarded. They have like a General Tso elementary school, museum of General Tso, his like house, like all of that stuff. But then they drag on forever talking about Chinese culture in America and how like Chinese people basically got into like Chinese food, you know. I was surprised to find out that there was so much discrimination against Asian people in the United States for a long period of time. There was an Exclusion Act.
I mean, during the Gold Rush and a lot of, you know...
Yeah, totally. There was an Exclusion Act that prevented them from, like, earning wages.
I mean, even as, you know, as recent as World War II, man, when, you know... many Japanese American people were interred.
Well,
and, you know...
the Exclusion Act was actually... It was like vetoed or it was overruled during World War II. These are for Chinese Americans because China sided, I guess, with or World War I because China sided with the United States or with the Allies. So they were like, "Yo, this is cool. All right, we're chill now. It's all good. Don't worry about all of the years that we've oppressed you and kept you from living your lives." But that's why so many Chinese people have... I mean, you'll find Chinese restaurants all over the place with, like, names like Golden Dragon, Red Sun. You know what I mean? Like, typical Chinese, like, Szechuan Buffet, like, all of that bullshit. Because a lot of these people moved in over from the West Coast, right? And they were all... There's still a largely Asian population on the West Coast. Or a large Asian population, rather. But a lot of them moved out of there because in California that's where all of the discrimination was going on. So they moved west, and you'll find, you know, people in small towns. Like there was one where they talked about like Los Alamos or something, and this one lady was like, "I'm the only Chinese family in this city or in this town, like, and we own a Chinese restaurant. We're the only people out here who do that." So that's your documentary spiel for today.
Well, that's cool. Do you recommend this documentary?
I mean, I basically described the whole thing to you right now. You can watch it if you're into, like... I mean, it's funny because a lot of these Chinese people don't know what General Tso's chicken is.
Well, I mean, that's why I love shows like Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern.
I love that show.
Because that guy, you know...
I'm pretty sure it's just Zimmern, but...
Oh, okay, well, either way...
Alex has, like, a really interesting way of pronouncing names.
Either way, like, that... He's eating real Chinese food. Like,
totally.
What people in China are actually eating. So
I mean, there's nothing... That's, like, good Chinese food, too, though.
Yeah. But, I mean...
It's just different.
Lots
of fish, right?
Panda Express, for example.
It's not Chinese food.
It's not Chinese food, but, like, they claim to have... like studied so many different Asian cultures and different types of cooking that it's just kind of like...
How American of them.
Yeah, it's just pseudo-Asian cooking, I guess you could call it.
Did you watch the BuzzFeed video where they give, like, Panda Express to Chinese people?
Yeah.
to like people from China.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, like some of the old, it's funny because they're like older people, and one of these like guys is like, I like this.
I'd eat it.
I would eat this, and other people are like, I won't touch it. Like,
yeah, the younger people who were the ones who were more adamant about like, oh, this is disgusting, and like, how could people eat this?
Well, I think that like they were all around our age, maybe a little bit older, and I think that that's kind of like the generation where. Or we're the generation where people are becoming more kind of health conscious, or like.
Well, I think
Panda expresses
they're
growth,
just kind of trying to be hipsters. They're like, yeah, we're Chinese, so we have real Chinese food.
But why not?
Like,
I mean, like.
But you see the older guy who's eaten real Chinese food his whole life, who's like, yeah, I'd eat this. Why not?
He doesn't. I mean, he's like 85 years old. At that point, you don't give a shit. You're just like, yeah. Whatever.
This tastes good.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Hand me like a pack of fucking. You could probably give him like Cool Ranch Doritos, and he'd be like, yeah.
Oh no!
What happened?
I lost my tabs.
All of them?
Yeah, they're shut out.
How did that happen? You can just reopen tabs.
Yeah.
Did you ever drink? Here's an interesting story that I read recently. So, did you ever hear about Pepsi Clear?
Yeah,
or Crystal Pepsi is what it's called.
Yeah.
So Coca-Cola created Tab Clear. I believe that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that, but Tab Clear was supposed to be like what was going to ruin Crystal Pepsi's marketing campaign, and Tab Clear was listed or reviewed as a subpar cola drink, and so people also thought that Crystal Pepsi was a subpar cola drink. So both of the drinks were like ruined in 6 months.
Yeah,
all because Coca-Cola like launched a shitty drink.
Well, and speaking of another BuzzFeed video, didn't we watch the one
that wasn't on BuzzFeed, but.
No, but I'm talking about, like, didn't we see the one with the BuzzFeed video where the guy drank some Crystal Pepsi that was, like, 17 years old?
No, not only that, but they drank a bunch of old, like, sodas. But I think you may be thinking of the video where we watched L.A. Beast drink Crystal Pepsi. That's a super viral video.
I've seen both, yeah.
And he just pukes everywhere. Yeah. L.A. Beast is a beast.
Yeah.
Skippy 62 Abel.
Oh man, I hate that one video of his
where he's puking in his dad's car.
No, I don't mind that.
That's hilarious.
The stupid one is like the butter presents challenge or whatever, where you have to run across a grease floor.
Oh, and he breaks his ankle.
He breaks his toe, man.
Oh, yeah,
like his toe is like completely separated from his foot, and it was on Tosh.0, and every time I see that, I'm like, dude,
why did he do that?
It should have never been done.
Yeah. But you know what? It got him on Tosh.0.
Yeah, true.
Which is like it's a big. I mean, that guy gets millions of hits on his videos. He's a big deal.
Yeah. Tosh.0 kind of made fun of him, though. I mean, he wasn't.
Who cares? Hey, what is it that they say? Like, any kind of press is good press.
Yeah.
If you spin it the right way. Look at who's another one? Shoe Nice is another big
Shoe Nice again.
You like are really perturbed by the way that guy talks, but I'll tell you, he is a nice guy. He follows me on Twitter.
Hence the name.
He is a nice guy. I watched there's a Vice documentary about him.
Really?
And how he's donated a lot of his money to like helping kids and fighting hunger and stuff like that. Like the stuff
because he was homeless, no?
I think so.
Whoa.
It's like that. It's almost like there's people cheering for homelessness.
That is not
good.
But
he was homeless. Yeah.
Speaking of what started playing now that I got my tabs back, let's jump into our first topic.
This is some real news. Real life news, right?
So last night, 2 nights ago, if you're listening to this podcast, Ronda Rousey fought Correia. I can't say her name. It's real like you make fun of me for saying it.
Try it.
It's Correia. It's Correia.
Correia. Correia? What did you say?
Correia. It's a Correia.
What's going on with your brain today, man?
What do you mean?
Okay, what's her last name?
That is her last name.
Oh, what's her first name?
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
Either way, they fought last night. It was like I think it was Ronda Rousey's first time defending her bantamweight title. She's seen, with her badass belt in the weigh-in, and Correia was like talking shit to her. She was in her face. It was like,
she's Brazilian, I think.
Yeah, and this fight was in Brazil.
Oh, it was. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I read this Yahoo article from like 3 days ago where Yahoo the author was saying that Rousey was most definitely going to make mincemeat of this other person. Mm-hmm. Like, it was already predicted.
And they were right. The fight lasted less than a minute, about 35 seconds.
Well, Rousey is, like, renowned for knocking people out under a minute.
Well, and they were talking about how Korea is known for, like, she's known for her ground combat more than her boxing fight.
Right.
Like, you know,
she's a good kickboxer.
Well, yeah, and she's better in, I forgot what the term is, but in MMA fighting, when you're fighting on the ground as opposed to both of you standing up, she's much better at that. And she tried for a second to, you know, get Rousey on the ground, but it didn't work. And Rousey was just relentless. She came at it with knees, punches.
Rousey's an Olympic judo champion.
Yeah.
And she's like one of the most prolific MMA fighters of all time. So there was a lot of trash talk too on Korea's part. Like she said something about, like, from what I understand, about Rousey killing herself, like, you should kill yourself or some shit, like, or I'm going to kill you, some shit like that, which is kind of like unnecessary because they're both champions in the sport, and when it comes down to something like that, you have like Ali and Frazier.
Okay, wait.
And
for a second though, like, these things are totally staged, these weigh-ins.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
a lot of them. I mean, it's the point here that I'm trying to make is that, like, sportsmanship goes a long way. I think. I think
sure
the trash talk wasn't like
behind closed doors. There was probably more of a sportsman-like relationship between the two.
Maybe,
but
how do you really know that?
Look at all these weigh-ins for boxing fights, for MMA fights. They're all like this.
They not all of them people are talking shit. Like, they're supposed to have a stare down.
Yeah,
that's all part of, like, the photo shoot.
Well, yeah,
you know, like, that's how they market the fight. If you can look up the stare down for this fight on YouTube and hear all of the people screaming and cheering when, like, Rousey gets that mean face on and goes up. You know what I mean? But it's kind of unnecessary to, like, talk shit right in front of them. It's happened before, I mean,
but I've seen some crazier shit happen. Like, have you seen the UFC weigh-in where it's two guys?
And he kisses the other guy?
Yeah, and one of them's, like, this tatted-up meathead who's, like, he looks pissed off.
He wants to fight him, like, right there.
Yeah, and he just kisses him.
Yeah.
And the other guy's confused. He's like, what the fuck just happened?
The other guy wants to, like, kick his ass right there.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, I don't know. Yeah, so that's it's funny because we were talking about Ronda Rousey last week when you had watched The Expendables 3. Mm-hmm. And I was completely unaware that there was going to be a fight this week, but she really blew up on Reddit this last week.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 requests I saw just today, for an AMA with Ronda Rousey. She's
kind of become like an internet darling over the past week.
I think her fame has, like, slowly started to set in. The first time I was really surprised to see her was in Fast and the Furious 7.
Right.
And it was, like, a really short cameo, and I was like, okay, she's an actress now? Okay.
The video that I saw was her talking about Pokemon.
I've seen that, yeah.
She's like, I don't know if you guys at home know this, but she's got like a hardcore obsession with Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. And she was actually a mod on a Pokemon board a while back. And there was some screenshot posted where it was her, like, information. You know how you, like, sign up your information on whatever profile you have? Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm like 16 years old or 15 years old or whatever. I'm, like, ranked number 1 in like judo, MMA, and you can look that up, this and that. My favorite Pokemon is like this. I like she's played every single Pokemon game. And the reporter was like, so did you, she was like, yeah, man. She was like, I played red, I played blue, gold, I played silver, XY, like, all of that I don't even know all the Pokemon games.
There's too many.
But she's played every single one of them.
There's, like, Alpha, Omega, Ruby, Sapphire.
She's played them all.
Like,
you can guarantee that she's...
Whoa.
She said that she's logged, like, over 2,000 hours on the original Pokemon game.
The original Pokemon game is, like, the best one, though.
Well, okay, and so the reporter was like, hey, so did you play Pokemon Snap? She was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Pokemon Snap was awesome.
Dude, okay, so why don't they do, like, Pokemon Snap on Wii? It would be so successful.
Yeah.
Like, that would, like, make it... The first Pokemon Snap really wasn't... Like, it was a short game.
Well, and you gotta assume, like, the relationship is already there. Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, those were all N64
There's
games.
no Pokemon Stadium either. I would love to see a Pokemon Stadium where you go into, like... You play as the Pokemon, and then you go, like... what's it called? Like, you can do all the Pokemon moves, like Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah.
Like, but it's first person, but you're the Pokemon. You know what I mean?
I mean, what I think would be badass is augmented reality with Pokemon Stadium, and you're like actually the Pokemon trainer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what if like once you release the Pokemon, you could become the Pokemon and
that's
like
dope. Yeah.
fight like that. You
I'm
know?
totally down for this.
Even though
Make it
Pokemon
happen.
is kind of like turn-based fighting, you know, so you could.
Yeah.
It
well,
couldn't
even
be
Pokemon
like,
Stadium was turn-based.
it's all all Pokemon
Yeah.
is turn-based, so maybe that wouldn't work because you still have to wait for your turn. But I would like to see some like brutal Pokemon on Pokemon action. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon
What if they
Snap
made a
would be like,
live-action Pokemon movie?
that would be the shit.
I think that could be really cool. It's like not very many things make the trend. Like more things make the transition from live action to animated than
From animated to live action
Yeah.
successfully.
yeah.
Like they would have to really put a lot of work into doing this, and
It
make
would need
the
to be like a
Pokemon look-
$200 million movie.
or more, but
Yeah.
like 250. But dude, honestly, oh my god, it would
It
make
would
$1
make
billion.
so much money, yeah.
And like if they did it right, got like the right cast,
Yeah.
and did like perfect CGI, and you know what I mean, like made
could be
all the
dope.
Pokemon look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Then
I'm
we
like,
could see like real Pokemon.
like, could you imagine like
fighting, you know?
Ghastly and Gengar and Charizard? Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Professor Oak boning Ash's mom. Ash walks in, he's like, Professor Oak, and Professor Oak's like, I've got wood. It makes so much
It's
sense.
like I'm your father.
Dude, I legitimately do think that Professor Oak was probably banging Ash's mom while Ash was out on the road.
He's like encouraging him. He's like, leave your home, son. Leave your mother.
So, is the Pokemon series still going? I think Ash is still a part of that, isn't he?
It's Pokemon XY.
On TV?
Yeah, or no, Pokemon Indigo.
On TV.
Yeah.
And it's an entirely new generation of kids that are watching
Yeah.
Pokemon. I
Well,
bet
and
Ronda Rousey probably
I don't
watched
think
it.
Ash is on it, man. Ash and Brock and
They're all
Misty
gone.
are all
Misty's gone.
You know,
That
God,
was the best trio.
I would love if they would put that shit on Netflix. I would watch.
I
it.
would, yeah, and Team Rocket.
Don't
Dude, honestly,
don't judge me. I would
no,
watch it.
I don't think that anyone would judge you for that. Like, honestly, dude, I would really like to see a movie with Ash and Brock and Misty, and then Team Rocket. You know,
do it. Make it happen.
yeah, totally. I mean, so anyway, we were talking about Ronda Rousey and that fight, but speaking of another athletic competition or something that may happen soon, Donald Trump has challenged Rick Perry to a pull-up competition.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
I think it was Donald Trump challenging Rick Perry.
Okay, so Donald Trump is just continuing his troll-like nature.
I don't know if he's a troll, man. I think that Donald Trump legitimately thinks that he can do it. Who do you think would win?
I mean, Rick Perry, come on.
Oh, no, you know what? You're right. It was Rick Perry to Donald Trump. You,
Yeah.
me, pull-up contest.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's like, I can't do pull-ups. I haven't done a pull-up since I was 6 years old. Dude, I don't think that Donald Trump could do a pull-up, man.
I don't think so.
I think Rick Perry would probably just like...
He could probably do him.
Is Rick Perry in the run for the presidency, too? I would be scared
I think he's
shitless,
going to
man.
try again, man. He tried the last election.
All of these candidates scare me.
Yeah. I don't like
know.
any of them either.
But politics aside...
Yeah. Let's talk about Cecil. Have you heard about Cecil?
Oh, are you talking about the guy that got killed by a dentist?
Yeah. So Cecil...
His brother is alive and well.
We're going to get to that. Cecil the lion, who was like... He was a 13-year-old lion at the Hwangi National Park in Matabeland, Zimbabwe. And this lion was very famous. A lot of tourists would come to Zimbabwe.
Why was he famous?
Well, I mean, he was just like a perfect lion, you know? Like, he was a perfect specimen, much like the gorilla we talked about.
Okay, I saw a picture of that gorilla the other day. Like, I hadn't seen an actual... I saw a photo and I was like, damn, that gorilla is fucking handsome.
And so it was the same thing with this lion. Like, if there was... He was like a national icon to tourists who go to Africa, you know? But on July 1st, he was shot and killed by Walter Palmer, an American recreational big game hunter.
And a dentist. That motherfucker. It caused a worldwide outcry.
Okay, so
I saw this on CNN too.
The people of Zimbabwe, according to the Zimbabwean government, they talked about how it hasn't had much of an effect on their own people because most people in the country didn't even know this lion existed. He was more.
They've got other shit to worry about, like eating.
Well, and it was more of a thing for tourists, than actual people who lived in Zimbabwe.
But he wasn't the lion protected.
He was. This was at Hwange National Park. So the thing is, this dentist, who's, he's a recreational big game hunter. It's not like it's his first time doing this. He was under the impression, allegedly, that he had the proper permits and the hunt was 100% legal. But the two Zimbabweans who were his tour guides and hunt masters or whatever, apparently didn't have authorization to let him hunt the lion. Obviously, because this was in a reserve, a protected area.
Dude, I don't think that.
Lion.
I honestly think that it's kind of despicable to go out there and do that anyway, killing such majestic animals.
Yeah, I mean,
it's dude.
If
it's
a canned hunt, it's kind of bullshit, Like if you want to hunt the lion, I give you a bow and arrow, nothing else, and you go out alone and you hunt the fucking lion.
I don't think that you should even be allowed to do that, man.
I mean, you're probably gonna die
unless you're, but unless you're gonna eat it. He's not going to eat the lion. He just wants its fucking pelt and, its mane and shit. Dude, and killing elephants is so fucked up. I remember going to this girl's house when I was in high school, and her dad had all of these I'm not going to say any names, but
the elephant trash cans?
Yes.
Yeah,
all of these, and it was a beautiful house, but they had this one room that was just totally fucking macabre, and it was like a room, it was a trophy room. But when I walked in there, I always thought about all of these animals that died just to decorate a fucking room. They didn't eat any of the the meat. I don't know. I think that killing go out and kill a deer. Because
those things are fucking overpopulated.
There are too many deer. Yeah. You know what I mean? If there's an overpopulation of animals, feel free. But if it's if it's just for a trophy, that's kind of despicable, man. And I think that a lot. Did you see the trinkets that people left on the dentist's office?
Yeah,
they were burn in hell.
He probably won't continue his practice.
Probably not. But it's crazy because he killed a lion.
And you know what? There was another news story yesterday that broke. One of the more less reputable news agencies had reported that Cecil's brother Jericho was also killed.
Wait, what?
I
thought he was alive.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. A less reputable news agency reported that he was dead, but it was confirmed
that he's alive and well.
One of the quotes I found hilarious. One of the guys who works at Hwange National Park said, "He looks alive and well to me, as far as I can tell." This guy's like, "What the hell are you talking about? He's fine." So Jericho lives on.
I think they need to do a better. I mean, it's fucking Zimbabwe, so it's tough, but they need to do a better job of dealing with these hunters.
The two Zimbabweans who provided him with
they're going to be killed by lions.
No, well, they've been arrested. They're in jail. He came back to the U.S. before they could do anything to him in Zimbabwe, so nothing's really going to happen to him.
I mean, they should still try to do something. They should still fine him seriously while he's in the U.S.
You know what?
$50,000 fine seems fair.
Okay, I agree with you, right? You shouldn't canned hunts are despicable, but the way
what is a canned hunt?
It's when you're not really even hunting.
It's when you just take a big gun that has a ton of stopping power, and you're for sure
there's
going to
no
kill
threat
it.
to you at all. It's set up for you to kill the thing and be done with it. There's no actual sportsmanship, as we've talked before.
Right.
But I feel like this guy, he's obviously okay. He's got some issues. He's a big game hunter. Okay, whatever. That's his problem. But he did everything legally. It's not like he was doing being deceitful or trying to do something illegally that we know of. I mean,
there should be a call for
I mean, there's plenty of
criminalizing all of that.
I mean, you should probably join PETA.
No, I don't agree with PETA at all. But I think that I mean, look, because I just said I'm not against PETA's against hunting and eating animals or anything PETA bombs humans.
PETA is
Like,
People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
They're also kind of a radical organization. But I think that, like, I mean, just hunting, you know, like hunting in Africa and hunting for the sake of trophies, like trophy hunting should be outlawed. I mean, unless it's an overpopulated animal that's causing, you know, grief and eating all the crops and all kinds of shit like that.
Either way, this was a protected reserve.
Kill cockroaches.
This shouldn't have happened. You know? I agree. Cecil should still be alive. I would have liked to have seen Cecil one day.
Is it Cecil or Cecil?
I mean, you can probably say it either way. I've heard people say Cecil. Cecil is more British.
Cecil.
Cecil.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
I've got you.
Let's see. What else? We got a couple other real news stories. I mean, we promised updates on Malaysian Flight 370. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
A long time ago.
And it's still lost, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but people probably never expected an update, but a small remote island off the coast of the Indian Ocean, a barnacle-encrusted wing washed up, and it's believed to be from
Everyone's
Flight
dead.
370.
They're all dead.
This is like the first piece of actual evidence that's ever been found, though, so it's really interesting. Hopefully they continue working to solve this unsolved mystery.
I'm pretty sure that everyone's dead.
Well, I mean, what if they made it to another island? What if they're still alive?
Then it's like
what
Lost.
If they're
the real
Oliver Queen over there, like,
or it's like Lost.
Yeah, there you go.
They're like, I've seen Lost. No, this is going to be 13 years of hell on this island. Speaking of traveling places, can we talk about the deal with ISIS?
Oh yeah, go ahead, tell them.
So there are two girls in Chechnya who actually scammed ISIS out of about $3,300 American dollars. ISIS had contacted them to join their militant cause or whatever, and they I guess just continued talking to whoever it was and said, yeah, we're gonna go there, and this is a big problem because this actually does happen. And the women get sold off or they get married to members of ISIS, and they're forced to stay there in wherever I don't know, like Palestine or wherever.
They're all over.
Yeah, wherever they get flown out to. But these girls said that they totally said that they were going to go out there and took the money and then closed all their social media accounts and just took the windfall. And they're now
they made off with $3,300.
Yeah, well, now that's an okay amount of money.
I mean, if you're from Chechnya, it's an okay amount of money.
Dude, it's not. I mean, for like literally no work at all. Like, hopefully they don't get found by these people. But the Chechnyan government is investigating these girls now.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, okay, so what they did was illegal, right? They scammed ISIS.
But it's like, it doesn't seem like it's that. It's like, okay, you scammed the devil. Like,
I mean, well, that just shows, like, what were their priorities are at in Chechnya. Like, the government is like, we're looking into these girls who've scammed ISIS.
They also realize, well, it's fraud, so it's a crime, but they also realize that ISIS are, bad fucking people. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're like the 1% of Muslims that give everyone in Islam a bad name. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm-hmm.
they're extremely radical. If you guys don't know who ISIS is, I mean, they behead people, they kill people just for, and they're totally like a screwed up like sect of Islam. It's not even like traditional Islam. They're just their own thing. And they recruit like
most of them.
They're not like Al Qaeda.
Most of them aren't even devout. Like,
a lot of them are people who just want to fuck shit up.
Exactly.
Like, there have been a lot of people who come in from their own country to whatever place ISIS is in, head back and bomb people, or what was there was some deal where it was I don't know, ISIS has been through so much shit, I don't even really want to talk about it. I just think it's really funny that these two girls had managed to scheme them out of a little bit of cash. Yeah. Now, the Chechnyan government or police recommends that you don't try to do this.
Probably not a good idea.
And if you're in need of cash, there are better ways to get money than trying to scam some extremely dangerous people. That's some Die Hard shit, man. Yeah. Like, I can imagine fucking, what was Bruce Willis's character in Die Hard? Like, I could imagine him. John McClane, yeah. I could imagine him doing some shit like this, and then they come back, and then, like, they're like, you took $3,300 from us. Fucking Alan Rickman is in Die Hard.
The very first one. It's
That's
like
a
the
good
best
movie.
Die Hard. Oh, dude, it's amazing. Alan Rickman tricks fucking Bruce Willis and Bruce Willis's character into thinking he's like not the bad guy. Yeah, great movie.
And he's like, Bruce Willis is in the air vents.
And the guy from
Air
Family
Ducts.
Matters is in it. Oh, it's just so good.
You know what, man? That's why that movie had like a trilogy, it's like a quadrilogy, a quintilogy, because there was Live Free and Die Hard. Remember?
In the most recent one, Jai Courtney played John McClane's son.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's like where Jai Courtney first got his big break. I think. Yeah.
I don't think I liked him in that movie.
I don't think I ever saw it.
I saw it. I thought it was like
wasn't
mediocre.
Shia LaBeouf in it too?
Wasn't he his daughter's boyfriend?
Oh my god.
That's who it was. I don't think he had a son.
Yeah, in the newest one, Jai Courtney played his son.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf, man. I saw a picture of him.
I would like some of whatever that guy's on. I'm just saying.
What, Fame?
Is that what he's on?
I think so, yeah. Dude, okay, so this is exactly what I was just going to say. I saw a picture of him walking with his mother, and his mom was, like, decked out in the craziest, like...
It's like Victorian peasant wear.
Yeah, with like a big Western belt.
Yeah,
and she had like a babushka like thing on her head or whatever, and like
his shirt. What did his shirt say? It was like "I'm with ugly" or something.
I don't know, but he was like he was wearing like jean shorts and boots,
homemade jean shorts.
Like jorts. He was wearing like macro-made jorts, and he was walking with his mom. And I saw like someone was like, "Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree."
Yeah,
like we know why Shia LaBeouf is the way that he is. He seemed like such a normal guy too.
Like when
in
it first started with
Transformers,
Holes and like Transformers.
And what was the other one where he was like, God, the dude across the street was a murderer and he was on house arrest. And
God, with Colin Farrell?
No, it wasn't Colin Farrell. There was like and he had like the neighbor girl who was like super hot. It was Insomnia.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What was it? That was a good movie. I thought it was pretty good. I'm gonna have to look up Shia LaBeouf, his filmography.
Just go through his whole credits, man.
Well, I mean, how many of them can? Oh my god! And if you look at Shia LaBeouf's Wikipedia page, oh my god, dude, look at him. He has an enormous beard. Disturbia.
Yeah.
Was Rihanna? Oh, Rihanna's track was not in that movie.
Oh my god. The fact that you're even suggesting that.
Well, no, I just thought like, is that why she made that track? She was like Disturbia.
It's like what do they call her? Riri? Everyone loves Riri. Everyone's on that shit right now.
Did you know that he was in iRobot?
Yeah, he had a very small role.
That was
what's
a
her
good
name
movie.
was in iRobot too. God damn it, I can never remember her name. Boca
What?
Bocarin.
Bridget Moynihan?
Oh no.
Moynihan?
Is it not the same chick?
She was with Tom Brady for a while.
Wait, who's the female lead in iRobot?
That's her, I think. Yeah, because I don't see any other.
Yeah, it is. Bridget Moynihan.
If you haven't seen that movie, guys, it's really good.
It's okay.
You didn't like iRobot?
No, I do like it, but it's not a masterpiece.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sarah Romer was the girl in Disturbia.
No idea.
I'm looking her up because she was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. She was like this chick. It's funny because some of these actresses have roles, and you know what I mean, and you're like, yeah, she's hot, she's got a future, and just you never see her again. Like, what's that other girl's? Oh my god, something. She's in Wet Hot American Summer.
Which one?
Both. She's
No, but which girl? There's like 40 characters in the fucking thing.
Hold up.
Oh my god.
Hold up. I've got to find it. Monica Moreau or something like that? Her last name is Moreau.
Yeah, it's not
Margaret Moreau.
Margaret.
Yeah, so Marguerite. Yeah, you're okay. This is a name where you're absolutely Marguerite. Yes.
Well, okay. This is a name where it's like it's spelled the way it's said.
It's undisputable.
Yeah, like you see it. It's not Margaret. It's Marguerite.
Okay, she's attractive, and I remember seeing her in a few like TV shows or something like that from a while back, but she's never done like any big time movies.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
Wasn't she in? What's the movie where they're like shitty superheroes with Ben Stiller?
No, you're thinking of Mystery Men, but that's Janine Garofalo.
Yeah, okay. I get them confused because they don't look exactly alike, but they look similar enough that I confused them.
I got you. I think that Marguerite Moreau is attractive, and I do not think that Janine Garofalo is attractive.
Okay.
Do you think she's attractive?
So Marguerite plays Katie, right?
Yeah.
And Janine plays the camp director.
Actually, Janine Garofalo is kind of attractive in like a weird
I don't
way.
think she's ugly. She was in Half Baked.
She's quite a bit older than she's 50.
Yeah.
And I just watched Louie. Like I had watched I got caught up with Louie recently, and Parker Posey is in Louie. Do you know who that is? Mm-hmm. She's in like You've Got Mail and a bunch of shit, and I didn't realize that she's like everyone that Louie dates in that show is well into their 40s, but they're all like fairly attractive women, And she was
that
like,
name. Okay, what happened to the other one?
She was
similar
in
name.
Dazed and Confused, though. Is my point.
What happened to Piper Perabo?
Piper. Oh, she was in Coyote Ugly.
Yeah. Well, she's in a USA show. Covert Affairs. Yeah.
That's probably what she's up to.
Yeah, I guess. That show's terrible.
She's quite a bit younger, I think. She's 38. She's about 10 years younger. She hasn't aged that well. She was in Looper. Oh,
I never saw
Looper. She was in Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Did you watch that?
No.
Who did watch it?
I'm sorry.
Apparently it was good enough to spawn a sequel. Dude, Jamie Lee Curtis was in that.
I heard Looper wasn't that great either. That's why I never watched it.
Jamie Lee Curtis used to be, like, pretty attractive.
She still is.
Dude, no, she's not. In Trading Places, now she looks like Steve Jobs.
She's old. I think her white hair is kind of sexy.
She's 56 years old. She looks like John Slattery. That's what she looks like.
Oh, man.
Dude, she could... I mean, I remember watching Trading Places with Richard Pryor, and I think... Who else was in it? Like, I don't know. Gene fuck, I forgot his name. But, Gene Wilder. But she was, like, totally, bare-breasted in that. Six-pack. Oh, dude. Oh, you know what? What was the other one with Arnold Schwarzenegger that she was in?
On, Kindergarten Cop?
No.
Where they're both spies.
It was a good movie.
And with the guy who
it's like
married
Battery
Roseanne.
Aziz.
Oh, what's his name?
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold was in it.
Oh my
Spies
god.
Like Us?
No,
Not Spies Like
that's
Us.
a comic. That's with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, what am I thinking?
Oh my god. Dude, okay, speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, that guy is jacked again.
Yeah.
He's 68 and just ripped as fuck, man. And
apparently, okay, so for Terminator Genesis, they used the same kind of technology that they used with Michael... God dang it. Why am I so bad with names today?
With who? Who are you thinking of?
The guy who played Hank Pym.
Michael Douglas?
I was going to say Michael Duncan. What the fuck?
I think that's a different actor.
So when...
to make him look younger.
To make him look younger, they used the same technology in Arnold in Terminator Genesis.
I mean, I'm going to say that he looks like pretty good, though, man. True Lies was the movie.
True Lies, there you go.
That's a great fucking movie.
It's okay.
Dude, I think it's a lot of fun. Jamie Lee Curtis is super sexy in that movie, though.
Yeah. That movie's like 25 years old.
Yeah, it's 94. It's not 25 years old. It's 19 years old.
It's 21 years old if it's from 1994.
Really? Oh yeah, it is.
3 + 4 is 34.
So if it was 97, it would be 19.
E = MC hammered.
Dude, what? Okay, wait, but Arnold Schwarzenegger looks like really good though, legitimately. Mm-hmm. Even though he's 68 years old, he's probably the best looking 68-year-old, like, because he's fucking jacked, man. And he's always
also
on
in Expendables 3.
Yeah, we talked about that, but he's frequently on Reddit as well. Like, I don't know if you know that. He posts to bodybuilding, and the other day he posted a video of him and Lou Ferrigno, who is the original Hulk, and they were working out together, like, doing hardcore reps. He was like, come on, one more. One more
rep of water.
I thought about that the other day when I was at the gym. I was, like, drinking water like that, and I was thinking of Arnold behind me going, like, one more rep.
One more rep of water.
Do 5 more waters. Arnold is cool as shit, man.
So let's talk about somebody who is not cool as shit. Jared Fogle. We promised updates.
Oh my god! So
there's
wait,
more updates.
I know, and I saw. Okay, so tell us what happened.
Okay, so let's do a quick little recap. The first week we mentioned Jared Fogle. He was, innocent until proven guilty. There was no reason to think he was a bad guy. Second week we talked about him.
He was innocent.
Cleared.
He was cleared.
Innocent guy. This week,
He's
shit
a
has
pervert.
totally changed.
Now he's
His text messages between a Subway franchise, like a franchisee, someone who owns a Subway franchise, were subpoenaed, and apparently it has something to do with him requesting sex from underage women and like running sex rings on Craigslist.
Wait, wow, I didn't understand that. From what I heard, he requested to have sex with a 16-year-old girl
Multiple times.
So it did happen. I
think so. Because he says something about how it's so great. And then he's telling this lady, like, okay, so what about your cousin? Can all three of us get together sometime? And at one point she asks him, so how was it? And he was like, oh, it was so great. I only paid $100. And she's like, well, how'd you know the Craigslist ad was selling sex? He was like, well, it's right there if you just read it. And
why does that guy need to do that? Like, I don't understand. Like, did you hear Louis C.K.'s, like, monologue on Saturday Night Live when he hosted it? Mm-mm. And he talked about pedophiles? And he was like, oh man, I grew up back in the day when like everyone had a pedophile in their town. It was just known. I mean, no one was doing anything about it. You were just like, yeah, that's Jean Pierre's. He's the pedophile. He's the guy. And he tells this really funny joke. I mean, I'm just gonna kind of like catchphase it, but he was like, what am I trying to say? Paraphrase it.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah, man. There's always that one kid who like he would like drive up and tell kids like, let's go to McDonald's, you know, tell like the young boys. And they would be like, no, I don't want to go to McDonald's with you. Like, let me buy you a cheeseburger. Because everyone wants a cheeseburger from McDonald's when, like, you're growing up back then, you know? So he was like, I had this friend that would always get in the car with him and go to McDonald's, eat a burger, and just run out of there. And he'd be like, thanks for the burger, man. And then he'd be like, damn it, not this time, or not next time, I'll do it again. But he was like, you know, it's crazy that these people, like, because when you think about it, there's no worse life for someone who's like, who does that shit, like who's a pedophile, you know what I mean? Like, there's no worse life for you. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like, maybe a terrorist or something, but you're always going to be like on the run. Everyone's going to want to fuck you up. Like,
things can only get better.
He was like, there's no like higher amount of risk that you could put your life in jeopardy for or whatever. And then Louis C.K. was like, which leads you to believe it must be pretty good.
Oh my God.
And,
fucking Louis C.K.
And everyone was like, oh, and like there was some laughter and whatnot, but this sparked like an outrage from people who were triggered. You know what I mean? So a lot of people talked about it on talk shows, and they were like, well, you have to consider, like, he's just too clever. Like, he could have come up with something more clever than that. And honestly, I think it's pretty fucking clever. Like, I think Louis C.K. has his own brand of comedy, and he always likes to push buttons.
I think comedians in general are the few people who are allowed to say things like these.
You shouldn't censor people like that. Like, or I think that what the bottom line is that they're calling for Louis C.K. or they were calling for Louis C.K. to kind of be censored.
Either way, okay. So the way I look at it is Louis C.K. Right? People know what they're getting into when they go like the people who go see Louis C.K. There was probably maybe a couple people who were actually at that. Was it stand up?
It was at Saturday Night Live. So this was nationally aired.
That's kind of like pushing the boundaries there. I don't know. I mean, why? Like, if it was in his stand up special or something, I would totally have no issue with it. But then once you go on Saturday Night Live and say it, you better expect a fucking shitstorm.
I mean, like, I think it's kind of good, though, because it's like, what Saturday Night Live, like, that was a taste of what it used to be. It used to be way more edgy back in the day, and now Saturday Night Live is kind of, like, very vanilla.
Well, but edgy back then wasn't what edgy is now.
Well, back then, no one was like, trigger, trigger, trigger. Like, you know, there were no, like, you know what I mean? Like, edgy, people weren't watching Chris Rock on Saturday Night Live going, oh, racism, like.
I mean, but edgy back then is probably what we consider more prude nowadays, you know?
No, it was like, dude, back on Saturday Night Live back in the day, I think there used to be some pretty, like, raunchy stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I used to enjoy the Saturday Night Live sketches back then more than I do now.
Well,
maybe it's because they had a better cast, or like I don't know.
Like the Vacation movie, right? With this new one, I'm like, this looks great, but it looks really vulgar. And you know, some of the older people that I know were like, well, the first Vacation movies were pretty vulgar too. I was like, not vulgar like this. Clark may have dropped an F-bomb or swam naked with Christy Brinkley, but I don't think
Don't you see her boobs, though?
No.
You don't in the
No.
original Vacation? Okay.
No.
And then you went. What was the original Vacation rated R?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
you definitely did see tits though, because or it was in the European Vacation when Rusty is like out in the she's like oh and he's like oh my god.
Yeah, European Vacation. I think there's
That was also funny.
Everyone,
But Audrey was so fucking ugly in that movie,
and her voice. she was like, she was always complaining about her boyfriend. That's considered to be the worst vacation movie.
I had a good time watching.
I
that.
like European Vacation. I think it's funny. But,
Vegas Vacation is awesome.
yeah.
What's the other one? Christmas Vacation?
Vacation.
That's great. Where he's like his cousin Randy, or what's his cousin's name?
Eddie.
He's like emptying the septic tank out into the
Shit, it was full. And fucking Julia Louis-Dreyfus lives next door.
and the lights. Oh god, I just want to like.
Why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Marco.
You know what I've been thinking is like the other day I had this urge to just watch all of the Star Wars movies.
You should watch the Machete Order.
What does that mean?
Okay, so
The Machete Order?
the first three, the prequel movies, like episodes 1, 2, and 3, are considered terrible by most people, right?
I didn't hate him.
Episode 1 is not very good. It's my least favorite. Episode 2 and 3 are watchable. So what this Machete Order does, it was created by someone else, is you watch episode 4 and 5, which is the first two original movies, and then you watch episodes 2 and 3 as a flashback, and then you finish it off with Return of the Jedi. That's probably my preferred way to watch it.
You don't watch episode 1?
At all.
Why?
Because it sucks.
Dude, but I
20 minutes of pod racing, oh my god, like Jar Jar Binks. It's like
the kid is such a bad actor, too.
It's terrible.
He's like, whoa!
He's worse than Hayden Christensen.
Oh, no!
And you know what? Hayden Christensen's even not that bad of an actor. He just gets shitty fucking lines. Like, George Lucas
writing was
wrote
terrible.
the shittiest fucking script ever, man.
I thought that, like, I don't know. I enjoy, you know what people hate the most is Jar Jar Binks.
They do.
I liked Jar Jar
But
Binks.
a lot of people hate the romance, too, because the romance feels so forced between Padme and Anakin. And it's just like, there's absolutely zero substance to any of the scenes that they share together until episode 3, which is widely considered to be the best prequel movie.
Dude, what about Darth Maul, though?
Darth Maul's great. I mean,
He's like the best part of episode 1.
a lot of people do not like the lightsaber fights in episode 1. They feel like they're way too, like...
Dude, and Liam Neeson's?
Yeah.
He's in episode 1.
He is.
He's not in any of the other ones, though.
But a lot of people didn't like that either, because
Why?
they introduced
Qui-Gon Jinn,
Obi-Wan's master, and it's like, we see him for one movie and he's dead, and it literally...
He should have stuck around longer.
All he did was convince Obi-Wan to train Anakin, which is, it's a big deal, but...
It's like, if you don't train him, I will find you.
Episode 1 can be done
And I will
without.
hurt you.
You don't need to watch episode 1.
I mean, we talked about this a while back. Like, George Lucas had the whole like reason that he made that trilogy in the first place was just to kind of be like, it's my series. Like,
Well, yeah.
I can do it all on my own.
I'm going to direct it and write it, and it's going to be the best shit ever.
And I don't need Marsha to help me out with this. But Marsha was like the fucking he kept him grounded. You know, like Raiders of the Lost Ark and. Was that the first Raiders of the Lost Ark? I think was the first Indiana Jones film.
Well, okay, so what we need to consider here is like the widely accepted as the best Star Wars movie ever is Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and that was written by Lawrence Kasdan. And Lawrence Kasdan is a way better writer than George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas sucks.
So, and that's why like Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams are writing this new movie, Episode 7.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of,
It's
there's
probably
a
gonna be really
glimmer of
good.
hope there.
Did you see the thing? Like, it was Mark Hamill did like autographs for people, and he was like Luke Skywalker trying to sell giant bong, world's biggest bong. Call 555 weed.
I've actually seen a bunch of funny ones like that where he's like.
He's hilarious, man.
He autographed a picture of himself talking to George Lucas, like, on set or something, and he's like, like, how do you expect us to act to these scripts, George? Yeah.
I think that Mark Hamill is like one of the coolest guys in the entertainment business,
And we're actually
most versatile guys.
Once we come up
He should be
towards
worth
the
more
end
money.
of the podcast, we're going to be talking about Mark Hamill and some other project that he's working on, which is really excited. But
I'm really surprised that
really
he's
dragging on here,
not
so-
worth more money though.
Let's
Did you hear
talk-
about that? He's only worth $6 million. That's pretty crazy, right?
yeah,
Even being in all the Star Wars movies, he's only worth $6 million.
That is kind of crazy. He'll probably make a lot of money off this new one, though.
Oh, he's going to be... Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Here's hoping, Mark. You deserve
And
it.
he's going to be doing a lot of stuff. The guy's got a lot of work. Let's talk about this. Let's try and get out of these topics because we're talking a lot of TV and movies and stuff. Avicii and Deadmau5 both responded to Noel Gallagher's criticism of EDM at festivals.
We're talking about Deadmau5 again, guys. It's been a while.
So Noel Gallagher, he said, I don't know anything about Avicii. Oh,
Noel Gallagher is the front man for Oasis. So if you guys
be the one that say that Oasis?
Wonderwall?
Yes.
What did you just sang like one of the most arbitrary lines. But yeah, Wonderwall, like Champagne Supernova, Oasis was like a big deal back. If you're in high school right now, you probably listen to Oasis. So I listen to Oasis still.
Noel Gallagher commented on EDM. He said, I don't know anything about Avicii. I don't wish to know anything about Avicii. It sounds like an artist from the Renaissance period of the DJ's then impending set. I don't even know what this guy's talking about.
He's very British.
He said that festivals are becoming disturbing. If a dude in a hat and a pair of fake DJ decks pressing play on a CD player is what it's all about, then it's quite a bleak future.
Well, that's what he's saying, that it should only be live bands.
So first,
he's living in the past, kind of.
Let's hear Avicii's response.
I mean, his response was actually like a paragraph. I don't know if you have it there, what he had to say.
Sounds like you were playing the wrong festival if you're at the same time dissing it. Its entire... God, I can't read this shit either.
Okay, Avicii is very Dutch, or he's Swedish.
Its entire audience's music taste, you silly sausage. Oh, face. P.S. Guess what? There are still good bands still making great music that changes people's lives. What is really sad is hearing an old-time musician like yourself confessing so bluntly and openly to not having an open mind to new music. God, there's not a single commenter, period.
Well, I mean, it's social media.
Well, still, I mean... That's the difference between helping your uncle jack off a horse and helping your uncle jack off a horse, if you know what I'm saying.
Helping your Uncle Jack off a horse and helping your Uncle Jack off a horse.
Exactly.
The way you said it sounded like jacking off a horse both times.
No, I know. I did that on purpose.
Okay. Don't jack off horses, guys.
I really didn't think someone whose whole image is being witty would turn all stereotype, bitter, old-time rocker like that. Laugh out loud. I wish you nothing but the best and hope you one day will broaden your music taste and keep developing yourself as an artist and musicians. Okay. I would actually love to preview you my album song by song and hear your honest feedback, but I dare you to say the same thing afterwards. Dude in a hat.
I think that Avicii is one of the producers that actually is pushing boundaries, though. Like, he had that track "Wake Me Up" with Aloe Black, which was kind of like it was a mesh of country, bluegrass, and EDM. And he's always like thinking of new things. He's like one of those big guys, like Calvin Harris. And I also feel like Deadmau5 is one of those acts that's pushing boundaries as well.
So here's what Deadmau5 had to say: "Hello, this is Deadmau5 without the stupid fucking hat. What are they talking? What is the hat?"
The hat is like Noel Gallagher said that it's shitty that a guy with a hat.
Oh, okay, that's what they're referencing.
Yeah, and
the thing I literally said a minute ago.
And Deadmau5 like made a short video where he was like, "Hello, I'm Noel Gallagher without the stupid fucking accent."
Well, I'm Noel Gallagher without the stupid accent.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the whole.
That's all he had to say. But anyway, from this spawned
beef between Deadmau5 and Avicii.
Because Deadmau5 after this went on to say, like, he kind of agreed that CDJs up on stage are stupid.
Well, I mean, Deadmau5 has been saying the same shit for years.
Exactly. It's kind of like ridiculous and redundant for Avicii to even respond to this.
So Avicii decided to diss Deadmau5. He posted a picture of him in his studio. What's the guy? Okay, so there's the Forever Alone face that's drawn. What's the guy who's really mad? What's him?
The troll face.
Troll face. All right. So it's troll face with mouse ears, and he's sitting next to Avicii. And the meme says, if Deadmau5 wouldn't spend all that time hating, could I teach him the piano?
Okay, and so Avicii seems to think that he's like some piano virtuoso.
And Deadmau5 doesn't know how to play the piano, which
Right.
I find hard to believe.
Well, but Deadmau5 is a really like technical producer as well, but he knows his basics about
knows how to play,
all those guys do. But Avicii also admitted in a previous interview that he does not know how to play the piano. He just likes the instrument.
Okay, wow. So
Deadmau5 was like, okay, Liberace, like
thanks Avicii, Avichi, for your valuable input and expertise. Even if nobody asked you a fucking thing, pick a twit beef with someone on your level. I'm more interested on learning how to recreationally pop 30 painkillers a day and still be able to make shit memes.
So Avicii responded saying like with a lot of like hardcore defensively, you know.
And Deadmau5 keeps going, because throw your fucking hands up doesn't rhyme with your production skills are inferior.
No, because the response to that, someone had tweeted him. He said, why aren't there like beef tracks like there are in hip hop? For instance, there's that Drake and Meek
Chris
Mill thing that
Ziegler,
happened.
do you know who that is? Z-Power?
I do not know who
He's
that
verified, but he said to Deadmau5, time for a diss track. Why don't these exist in electronic music the way they do in hip hop?
To which Deadmau5 responded,
Because throw your fucking hands up doesn't rhyme with your production skills are inferior.
I don't think that Avicii's production skills are inferior.
Deadmau5, my team doesn't work on memes, sad face. I should probably hire a new team. I need a fucking team. So Avicii goes on to say, Deadmau5, I would have picked someone my own level, bro. Trust me, it wouldn't be you. He then quotes, own my ass back, Mr. Troll, please. I don't know what he's talking about.
Own my ass back, Mr. Troll, please. So he's saying that he's like Deadmau5.
And then like we talked about earlier, Deadmau5 is like, put the phone down, have another Xanax. You blocked me, Tim. You can't read this.
Yeah. So Deadmau5, like the reason that he's not producing music right now too is because he's building this fucking crazy studio.
Yeah.
He's building like a $30 million studio, and so people have asked him, they said, when is it going to be done? You know, they've been working on this studio for like the past 6 months. And he was like, they told me that it'll be the end of October, which is probably going to be more like the end of November or early December, because I've built studios before. I know how it goes. So he was like, in the meantime, I'm just going to keep browsing 4chan and tweeting a lot. And
nice.
that's what and playing Diablo 3. That's what Deadmau5 is up to. But the other thing that Deadmau5 is up to, and as you guys know, we covered this recently, he had the Ferrari.
His Ferrari, which Ferrari fought back and they forced him to, repaint it or get rid of it, one of the two. And so he got rid of it, but now, Deadmau5 has built another, it's not a Ferrari, but it's a Lamborghini with the same exact decals that the Ferrari had. The Nyan Cat. All great stuff. And
now it's called the Huracan.
Yeah, so on...
or
it's called the Nyan Burghini.
Nyan Burghini, yeah.
So Deadmau5 on Instagram, he called out Ferrari. He goes, "You mad, Ferrari USA?" Hashtag Nyan Burghini.
It's a dope car, man.
It looks great.
He put a lot of money into it. Probably more than he did into the Ferrari just to one-up it.
Yeah.
I don't think that Lamborghini cares as much as Ferrari does about this whole ordeal. If they do, that'll be a tremendous waste of time and effort. But I also saw that... So Deadmau5, you would wonder how he's, staying afloat, but you remember that he plays in Vegas regularly as well. So another thing that I saw him post was he was signed the guest book at this hotel, it's a pretty exclusive hotel in Vegas, where he signed it. He was with the mouse or whatever, and then he signed his initials, and he was like, Ted Danson signed this book fucking 3 times, and he was like, Justin Bieber writes like a 6-year-old.
Well, and I mean, I'm sure Deadmau5 is not a completely stupid guy. He made a lot of money between 2007 and 2011. I'm sure he managed it properly, and he's like...
Who knows, but he's not... I mean, I don't think that he's a stupid guy at all. And either way, these guys, he's got endorsements, he's got ways to make money. He's such an icon. When you're an icon like that, he could easily be like, yeah, well, here, I want to do an Adidas spot. And then just have him wearing Adidas, and people are like, dude, Deadmau5 is wearing that, it's cool. Calvin Harris did an underwear ad.
Yeah.
Tiesto has done stuff for Guess where he's sitting there with a glass of cognac. So, and you make tremendous amounts. Yeah, I mean, Diplo's done several of them, but
Yeah.
you make tremendous amounts of money from that. And I mean, like, look at athletes. Athletes have their signing deal, but then they get a deal from Nike for like $40-50 million.
Yeah.
So that, as long as you're not gambling or you're not doing something, it's like,
I think Tiger Woods in his prime had the most endorsements of any athlete in the world. It was like
he was worth some crazy amount of money.
Nike, Buick, Tag Heuer, and like a bunch of other shit all sponsored him. Yeah, it was crazy.
And he is now playing again.
Not very good.
No.
He sucks now.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He sucks?
He's not good anymore.
What happened?
I don't know.
But I think that golf is an
The kid
astounding
who-
game to begin with.
The kid who won the U.S. Open is like 17 years old.
Is he a Scottish guy?
No, I think he's American.
But I think that golf is such a crazy game of skill. Like, how could you get a hole in
Jordan
one?
Spieth, he's American.
How could you possibly get a hole in one? Like, can you imagine the odds of like?
He's 22.
That's fucking crazy. But dude, has he got? I wonder how many hole in ones that. Dude, when you hit a golf ball and it flies like football fields and it just lands in a tiny ass, like, dude, how is that even possible? You know, that's like
Golf is a badass game, man.
it's fucking tremendous.
I'm curious how many hole-in-ones this guy has. Probably a lot.
I mean, playing like professional soccer is definitely more physically intensive, but it probably doesn't require as much skill as like getting a tiny hole or a tiny ball the size of like, you know, a fucking golf ball into a hole that's
And golf is off
a mile away.
Okay, soccer you rely more
On your physical
abilities than you do like in golf. You got to have the right equipment. You got to hit the right balls. You got to practice. I think.
I feel like you'd have to play the course before to like really know like how to hit the ball and where to hit it. You know,
kind of. Well, and then you got to rely on like
you have to know the
wind
course
and like all sorts of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that being said, I'm not saying that soccer doesn't require talent because like guys that are in the World Cup obviously are fucking insane. But I mean, they run like 15 or 20 miles or some shit. Each game, yeah, and that's why they're like beasts. But I just can't believe it. That's nuts. Anyway, that's our conversation about all that good shit.
Let's talk about this.
Good stuff.
So Corey Fryson, who is a professional Counter-Strike player, for those of you who don't know, Counter-Strike is like one of the most technical first-person shooters there in. It's like one bullet hits you and you die. And
It's a big time game. People spend a lot of money on Counter-Strike too.
People win. Like this guy wins a lot of money if you win playing Counter-Strike. But there's recently like this whole fiasco going on with esports and pro gaming, where this guy admitted to all the people that use Adderall to like keep themselves going and game for that amount of time and with that level of focus.
What, do they snort it?
So now they're going to start introducing drug testing into esports.
Oh,
leagues.
please.
Yeah. Well, you know what's even more crazy is esports in general. Like once you're like 22 or 23, you're washed out. It's not like Brett Favre who plays till he's 45 or some shit. Like
You've got to be a kid.
You're done. Yeah, once you're not
You're
a
like
kid
14
anymore,
you're
you're
like 14.
done. Yeah. It's a crazy sport, and you can win a lot of money doing playing Heroes of the Storm or Hearthstone or Counter-Strike or any of these games.
Speaking of, our friend Watch Out Loud is back up on Twitch.
He's been streaming a lot
every
lately.
day. If you guys are on Twitch, make sure to check him out.
It's twitch.tv/watchoutloud.
Yeah, he moved. He's living in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said that he's going to be moving to Washington though because he can't obtain like a work visa out there or something like that. But yeah, he's living with his girlfriend right now.
We've had them both on the podcast.
And so check them out. So Counter-Strike is you can buy stickers or obtain stickers on that game that are like really hard to get.
Uh-huh.
And some of these stickers, like you could sell them to other people within the game for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you're talking about like if you get special skins for the weapons?
Yes.
Because you play there's like this kind of slot machine system where I think you accumulate points by playing matches, but once you have a certain amount of points, you can activate a slot machine type thing,
right?
And it churns out something, and most of the time it's shit. There's rage videos on YouTube where the guy keeps getting the same fucking gun, and he's like raging in Russian. But yeah, if you get one of the really rare ones, you can sell it for a lot.
Well, you can also get those stickers from winning certain competitions.
Oh.
And it takes like a lot, that's
Yeah.
really fucking hard to do. So I saw recently on Reddit, this guy was like, I let my 11-year-old cousin like play on my Counter-Strike account, and I came back in like in an hour, and he had customized all the guns with the stickers. He had spent like $4,500 worth of stickers on the guns just to make them look pretty.
That sucks.
And you can't take the stickers off. Those stickers, like, if you hold on, the longer you hold on to them, the more value they accrue as well.
Yeah.
So like, if you were to hold on to a sticker, he had one sticker that was worth $1,500. And he was like, if you were to hold on to that sticker for a couple of years, it would have easily been like 10 or 12 grand.
And Counter-Strike is the type of game that in a couple of years people are still going to be playing it.
Yeah.
And
It's
know
that
what's funny
competitive.
is even though it's on PC, where it's like PC Master Race and everyone's like, oh, everything's better on PC graphics and whatnot, Counter-Strike looks like it's a game from 2000. But people still love that shit,
It's a tough game to play. And I
Yeah,
mean, there's
it's really hard.
there's money to be made there, and so people continue to play it.
One of
It's
my
definitely got its own
Counter-Strike
culture.
players is a Twitch streamer, Legendary Leah. You should go check her out.
She
as
plays.
well.
I've seen her before. She plays Counter-Strike.
She plays a lot of shit, but yeah, she's really good at Counter-Strike too. And she'll get hammered and then hop in the room with like 3 other dudes on her team and just talk shit to them the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is Twitch still like a hot commodity? I haven't been
yeah.
watching very much Twitch.
I haven't either.
I kind of stopped when
know.
the whole Hearthstone craze happened.
Well, I mean, Hearthstone's been big for a while now. If you look, like the top 3 games on Twitch are always League of Legends, Hearthstone, and World of Warcraft.
Well, I can understand World of Warcraft. There's kind of more adventure there going on than watching someone play fucking cards.
Well, I don't know. I kind of like watching people play Hearthstone.
Why?
If you understand the game, it's fun.
Why don't? Okay, well, like, I mean, it's kind of like Magic: The Gathering.
It's exactly like that, but all the cards and whatnot are World of Warcraft themed.
But don't you think it would be like? I mean, there's no like animation going on. There's like
Very
it's
little.
just a fucking boring game. It's like-
That's why if I was watching someone like a really boring Twitch streamer play it, it'd be boring. But if I watch Leah play it, it's not bad.
she's hot
No, but she's interesting too.
and she has boobs.
She says interesting things. Like she keeps me entertained.
What's the other channel that you like to watch, where it's like a couple
Serious Gaming. I haven't watched them in a while.
and they like the chick does like makeup and stuff. And
Oh
then
yeah, I don't know. If she
at
does
one point they
cosplay
were like
anymore.
cooking eggs and like the guy was
They
like
still
in the
do
other
that.
room.
Sometimes, like they call it the kitchen cam. They'll attach a camera to her, and she'll go, make some food in the kitchen.
It's really crazy. They make a good living off of doing that.
They're
kind of stuff.
currently on a what do they call it? Like a mega marathon stream right now. They're over 1,000 hours.
Oh my god, that's like
continuous
what,
streaming.
over a month of streaming?
Way over a month.
That's fucking
continuous
crazy.
streaming. Their account has not shut off.
That's insane.
The only time it shuts off is when Twitch stops working.
Oh no, does it reset their timer?
No, it doesn't reset their timer.
That's insane. Have you heard anything from like Toby Games either? Like, I haven't.
PewDiePie's been doing nothing either.
And I've seen
He
people.
was playing Agar.
What's that?
I've showed you Agar before. It was the game that was created on 4chan.
Oh yeah,
Where
yeah.
you're the little ball?
Yeah, totally.
That game got added to Apple devices now. I've been playing it constantly. I got my cousin addicted to it as well.
Phil.
It's so addictive. Like if you ever get first place, you'll always be trying to get first place again.
Do you subscribe to PC Master Race?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you see the post where it was like, saw Markiplier at my local store? And Markiplier's been doing stuff. Like
Really?
I don't know if he's been really YouTubing as much, but he's been getting work. Like he's been appearing at conferences and doing all that good stuff. He might be doing like voiceover work now or something rather. He's definitely got the voice for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't heard. Like I used to really love watching Toby play games, and I haven't seen.
I feel like Let's Plays are kind of
they're kind of dead.
yeah.
It's too bad.
I mean,
too.
like Minecraft Let's Plays, you're still good,
That's why though.
because there's tons of kids under the age of 11 who watch Minecraft Let's Plays.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I've heard people talking. They're like, older gamers don't get it. They're like, so there was an episode of South Park like this with PewDiePie in it, but it's like, why are these kids all hanging out? They're hanging out together in the same room, right? But each of them is looking at a different computer screen of somebody playing a Let's Play. Why don't all 4 of them plug
play
in
the game.
plug in a video game and play something together. You know.
Well, I've never thought of it that way. I've always thought that Let's Plays were more of a situation where I'm bored, I'm at home, and I don't want to play that game, but I'd rather watch this dude play it.
Well, for someone our age, that's more of what it's like.
So those kids, there are kids that sit around together and watch different Let's Plays, simultaneously.
Well, and it's like,
dude, that generation.
Why don't you play Minecraft, dude? It's like, fuck.
Your generation is damaged. Speaking of Deadmau5, though, he also said that. Who's the guy who came up with Minecraft?
Oh god, his name is fucking weird.
It's like with something with an S. I don't know, but anyway, he said put in a good word with Mojang for me, and if C414 or whatever,
the guy who did the music for Minecraft,
he was like, I'd love to do the soundtrack for the movie with him because they're making a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, Telltale is also doing a Minecraft series. I don't like Telltale. I'm probably the last person to ever.
I'm not really a fan of Telltale. I don't like their style. Is the problem?
I hate their style.
I would have more fun if their style was more like third person gaming. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly,
I don't mind the artwork.
I think their style is more of they should be doing blog posts where they tell stories. Because that's about all there is to those games. And, for me, a good video game is a mix between gameplay and story. It's not just like
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, but it's like this story, okay, they tell great stories, but the game is shit. And the engines they run them on are shit. And the games look like shit. So, I don't,
But people buy them.
Yeah. I guess.
So, is the new Fallout out yet?
By Notch.
Notch, that's it.
Marcus
Okay, you don't have to say that name.
Marcus Persson.
So Deadmau5 had contacted him and said, "Put in a good word with me with Mojang, or for me with Mojang." But have you played? Is the new Fallout out yet?
No, it comes out in.
Okay, comes out in silence.
Yeah.
There's I think that who is it that develops Fallout? Is it Bethesda? Yeah, they said that there's an incredible amount of gameplay. Like, you could spend a long time
One
playing
of the
this game.
developers was quoted as saying he's 400 hours in on his playthrough.
And you haven't seen any
and
of
he's
it.
still finding shit he hasn't seen.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
So-
I mean, Bethesda is known for that. Like, I could probably fire up Skyrim right now and play long enough and find something I haven't seen before.
I feel like Fallout would kind of be more fun, though.
Well, I mean,
It's a more modern environment. Skyrim is cool too, though.
I mean,
for sure.
the worlds of Tamriel and the post-apocalyptic worlds of Fallout are completely different. Fallout 4 comes out November 10th.
It's going to be a big deal, man.
Yeah.
That's the next big thing that everyone's waiting for. It's like funny
I'm
how
just
they're...
patiently waiting for Elder Scrolls 6.
When is that coming out?
Probably going to be another 4 years.
Oh, great. So you're patiently waiting for
you
4 years.
Okay, so Fallout 3 was it came out in 2006.
Right.
So it took them 9 years to get another Fallout.
There was also New Vegas, though,
not made by Bethesda.
but it held people over.
Yeah.
And that came out in 2010.
So by that logic, 9 years, it's going to be at least 2020 before we get another Elder Scrolls title.
I mean, a lot of work goes into these games.
Yeah.
A lot
They're
of people,
totally worth it.
In the meantime, people are just playing GTA and getting crazy with it, though, because
I
there's
can't
so
play
much.
GTA anymore.
You can't?
I mean, I
I've seen
beat
so
the
many-
campaign twice on 360.
Do you play online?
I beat it. I've tried. I mean, the thing with online is you need friends to play with.
Oh, okay.
Because if you just group up with randoms, it's never going to be as fun.
I've seen a lot of crazy shit that people have done, like videos from GTA where I'm like, whoa, I can't believe that that's even possible.
I saw a mod the other day where it was an Iron Man mod.
What he
And
was like, you could fly in the suit or something?
You have the Mark III Iron Man suit, and it's like, it is so awesome. Like, the first thing he does is he's walking around, and I'm like, okay, this is so boring. Are you going to do anything? And eventually he launches up into the air and slams back down on a car. And I was like,
Does
whoa.
it ruin the car?
Yeah, it destroys it. And then he starts using repulsor beams and whatnot. It looks awesome. I wish I had GTA on PC, because I would mod the fuck out of it.
I mean, you could... Well, you don't have a PC strong enough for that.
I probably do. Yeah, my PC's strong enough. It's just...
Well, speaking of Marvel, do you want to talk some movies?
Well, first let's talk TV.
Okay.
So, Top Gear is gone from BBC America.
Ah, but hope is not lost.
Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May have signed on to work with Amazon. on their own series where they have full creative freedom.
A $250 million deal.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a big deal. And I think that this show is going to be a lot cooler. It's probably going to be available to people with Amazon Prime subscriptions, too.
It's going to be on Prime Video, I bet.
Right.
Instant Video, whatever they like to call it.
So, basically, whatever to the BBC. I mean, and these guys, I think they knew that it was coming, too. They were in such high demand.
Well, see, so their contracts stated that they can't work with another UK broadcasting corporation for
But
2 years.
Amazon isn't that.
So that kind of gets them around that. It's kind of a loophole.
I mean, Netflix could have easily jumped in there
True.
too,
I
but
feel-
maybe they did. Maybe they offered them like 150, and Amazon was like, "No, 250," because Amazon has the money.
No, you know what? I kind of feel like this is more at home on Amazon, just because Netflix really all their original content is not as. It's all scripted, you know.
It's more story based.
It's story-based, scripted television, whereas this is totally not scripted television.
Amazon needs a good original series too. They've been trying.
I don't think this is what's going to propel Amazon to greatness, but it's.
Well, I think it's going to be a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, anyone who loves Top Gear enough is going to watch it. Because
right.
I doubt they're going to continue watching whatever shit BBC America.
Why did they?
BBC
I mean, you have to
put out.
consider why these people enjoyed Top Gear in the first place, and
It
it was
was
all
the
those
hosts.
guys.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why that's going to propel this series, and it'll probably be worth the $250 million.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, no, it most definitely will.
I mean, and they've got how many seasons have they got them signed on for? I wonder from that 250. It can't just be one season.
No. Well, maybe it's like a 50 episode season or something.
I mean, maybe, but that's still a lot of money for that, dude. That's going to be some really
okay.
high production value. They're going to buy some sick cars or do some. I don't know.
Well, either way, to do a show like this costs a lot of money because they got to drive all these cars. They got the insurance
guys,
and whatnot,
too.
and
Yeah.
having the crew and all the traveling they do, and
the $250 million budget is not going into all of their pockets.
No, probably not.
They're probably each getting paid like $20
couple
million.
mil. No way, dude.
You don't think so?
There's no way that Jeremy Clarkson went from making $2 million to $20 million.
You don't think so?
No.
So maybe $5 million. They're in high demand, man.
I think maybe they'll each probably get paid $3 or $4 million.
Okay, that's still not bad.
Yeah.
That's $12 million total that goes to the acting, and then that's a really huge budget that we can expect the show to be based on. So the show will be big.
Yeah.
So what else is going on in the world of
Either
TV?
way, I'm looking forward to it. You finished Ascension. I talked about it.
Yes.
I had seen the first episode.
Did you watch any more of it?
No, I haven't. I haven't yet.
It's really good.
I have stuff that I'm still trying to watch.
It's really good. I mean, okay, so people have been hitting up Netflix, try to come on, make this continue this show. You know what I'm saying? Netflix has continued. Has now created they've got a what's it called? A laundry list of shows that they've kind of saved from hell. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Production hell or whatever, and turned into some great movie or some great TV rather. But Ascension was a lot of fun. It was, the acting was kind of here and there because it's a sci-fi show. I feel like if they brought it back on Netflix, it would be a lot better. For whatever reason, I feel like the shows are just better on Netflix, than sci-fi.
Well, I don't think it's so much that they're better on Netflix. It's just that they're so bad on sci-fi.
I've had a good time watching some shows on sci-fi. I really enjoyed Warehouse 13. I enjoyed Eureka. So I don't know. But this show, it's got good elements. I'll say that. I think
it's cool. I really like.
It's a
the
really
premise.
great concept,
Yeah.
and it's totally they could have gone on with it for 5 seasons, Lost, or
Yeah.
even longer, because there's so much that they could have worked with. You don't even know about all the twists.
I've only watched the first episode, so.
I can't talk about too much of it because it'll spoil it for you. Because the whole show is based on twists. The first episode, by the end of the second episode, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? This isn't even the same show that I was watching, But
that
before.
scares me because that's the one thing I don't like. Okay, so.
It's a really good twist, man.
Okay, but first season of Helix was. I really, really liked it. And then the first episode of the second season, I was like, nope, not watching this anymore. It felt like a completely different show.
No, it's not. Well, let me tell you. Okay, this is all in one mini series, like one mini season, so it's all very cohesive.
Yeah.
It's not like oh, dude, it totally changed. Like it's a different show in like one episode. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a good show. Like it's just the dynamics change a little bit because it's different information that you're given, and you're like, whoa, like I totally didn't even expect that to be the case.
Well, I'll probably finish it before.
I mean, it's honestly, I watched all of it in one night.
Yeah.
And so now I'm on to watching Iron Chef America as per Alex's suggestion. And I've also I tried to watch more of White Collar, but I feel like I got back onto White Collar season 5. I had finished season 4 where Neil Caffrey's dad leaves and Peter's going to jail.
Peter's going to jail.
And
He
that's
was
all.
framed for
That's
that
all
murder.
resolved in the first 10 5
God,
minutes
no,
of the next.
why?
Dude, that's why I was saying I couldn't even watch the whole episode.
So Peter's back to being an FBI
He's the
agent?
director.
Of the FBI?
Now they're like, you know what, man? You should be the director. And it's like, oh, dude.
So the guy from Meet the Parents is gone?
He's there, but he's like, you're going to be in the office, in the next, so they're like, let's do one last thing together, Neil. and he's like, Neil, I'm so glad
I'm
that
gonna
you...
bone you. With my wife watching.
That's in bad taste.
My wife from Saved by the Bell.
She's attractive.
No, she's really hot. I
But
think she's
they're
great.
it's just the writing is so stale, and Maz, I just can't stand him. I'm like, oh, dude, I always think of him as that guy from Sex and the City, and he's like the same fucking character. It's just, you're like, dude, come on, man, there's that show needed some originality, and I'll probably give it another chance. But it was kind of cringeworthy for me.
Well, they lost a lot of the great supporting characters. They're some of the actors who play really well with Matt Bomer. There's some good character relationships, but they never last, and we're always left with the same shit.
Well, okay, so White Collar season 6 only had 5 or 6 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it done?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe it's still running.
No, but they wouldn't put half a season up on Netflix.
That's not where I watched it. Oh, yeah, you know what? I am watching it on Netflix. Sorry.
I was going to say, because they have season 5 and 6 on Netflix.
So it's season 6 only had a few episodes. So maybe it was cut short or something. I don't know, man. That show was great for the first couple of seasons, and then it just totally got lazy. It's not like you said, it's not like Suits, which is propelled by the acting.
Yeah.
It's not like Person of Interest,
And
which
the
is just
originality.
amazing.
I mean, even though Suits is a show about lawyers, it's fucking original.
I mean, I've got to say, though, whenever I watch... I haven't caught up with the latest season of Suits, and I need to, but whenever I watch Suits, I'm always like, damn, I can't believe that shit just happened.
Yeah.
I don't...
Good drama on Suits.
Totally. I don't get that from White Collar, unfortunately. So
I'm curious because I want to see.
I'll tell you where the drama is real is Iron Chef America, man. That show is overly dramatic.
So yeah, season 6 has 6 episodes, and the last episode is au revoir. So I'm sure it's over.
It's done, thank God.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But yeah,
I'm gonna finish it just for the sake of finishing it.
I mean, yeah. If you, I can't even play solitaire while I watch it. I'm like,
maybe
I noticeably groan when I watch that show. I'm like,
maybe I can turn you on to my guilty pleasure.
No, I'm not gonna play that game.
What?
I don't want to.
What game?
The game that you were just talking about.
I was talking about a show.
Chopped?
No.
What show?
Oh, Chopped? There's only one collection on Netflix, and it sucks.
Yeah, I thought you said it was good.
The Chopped collection?
I thought you said that Chopped was the real Iron Chef.
The show, but the collection... Okay, so the Iron Chef America episodes, those 25 episodes, are gathered from 14 seasons.
What?
There's truly hundreds of episodes of Iron Chef, dude.
Really?
Yeah. So
why didn't they just...
Food Network only allowed them to put a small portion of episodes up.
What?
And all the Food Network shows on Netflix are like that. Chopped, it's only one collection, 25 episodes scattered from the seasons.
That sucks.
Didn't you wonder why shit was changing so fast?
No,
all of a sudden the chairman's are you not that far?
I've only watched 3 episodes.
Oh, never mind then.
But what happens?
Well,
It's not like there's a storyline.
The show gets harder.
Oh, okay.
Because after the scandal of everyone finding out, that someone leaked that information about the inner workings of Iron Chef, and it forced them to kind of make the show a little bit harder.
Let me just say that show is for real overly dramatic. Like when
The chairman,
yeah, dude, he has sound effects, and like when he shows up, he does like 2 backflips.
no, dude, no, you're confused. He doesn't show up on every episode and do backflips. It's like
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
it's the credits, the opening credits show him doing backflips in every episode.
And like, why do they have to do like 3 or 4 different shots of each chef from like different angles? It's like so ridiculous,
dude. I feel like sometimes when he's like addressing the chef and they're supposed to like bow, some of them
Yes,
are
chef.
like, "Fuck this shit." Like, God, yeah, okay.
In the words of my uncle, "A la cuisine." Like, why do you quote your uncle?
One of my favorite episodes is later on, and it's so there's an Iron Chef in other countries, right? There's Iron Chef Australia.
I did not know that. I thought
Iron
there was,
Chef UK.
There's the original Iron Chef, which was from Japan.
Yeah, but there's Iron Chef UK, Iron Chef Thailand. So one of the Iron Chefs from Thailand comes on to face Morimoto, and it's really, really good.
I think that I'm always impressed by all the dishes that they make, but I have to ask, like, what made them choose those Iron Chefs? Was Bobby Flay like on the original Iron Chef show, like from Japan?
No.
Did he win?
No. He's the grill master, dude. He's one of the most famous chefs. Like, when the Food Network movement started, Bobby Flay was at the forefront of that, you know?
But were they just like, you're just going to be an Iron Chef?
Yeah.
He didn't have to win it.
No. Like, some of the later ones had to win it.
And Morimoto is like also...
So you've seen Zakarian. Have you seen Zakarian
Yes.
fight? He becomes an Iron Chef later.
He does?
Yeah.
And he's
Zakarian, he's a regular judge on Chopped as well.
Zakarian was like, he made like a lot of Mediterranean dishes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not that impressed by his like.
I like his cooking.
He
man.
went against Morimoto, and Morimoto was like way more original with his stuff.
Well, and Morimoto is also a very technical cook. Like, he knows exactly how to cut pieces of meat and exactly like, you know.
But I mean, like the diversity. He was like, okay, I made a little pizza right here, and he's like, I did this like scallop and sardine stew.
One of the coolest things I think I've ever seen him do is he took a fish and like he dipped it in ink and like blotted it on a towel or like a long dinner napkin. So there's like this image of a fish on this napkin that he like blotted on there with the actual fish. Crazy shit.
Why did he do that?
For like part of his plating and presentation.
Oh, okay.
You haven't seen one of
it's
the
all
later
about the
Iron
artwork,
Chefs
too.
is Mark Forgione, and his platings are insane. Like he's all about like utilizing all the senses of the person who's eating the food. So like you're gonna hear shit, you're gonna smell it, taste it, see it.
How would you hear it?
He like one time he had this
He like
soup
has a
broth.
live chicken. It's like
No, but like if you pour dry ice into something and it's like
It
creating
crackles.
smoke, you can like hear it, you know?
So it's a totally immersive experience.
Exactly.
I was like, I have to say, okay, so the first episode is Bobby Flay versus this Australian chef. Chef Stone, and I liked his dishes more, but he got a shitty fucking...
I was rooting for
vote.
Chef Stone. Dude, that guy's fine. He's fucking famous. Like, he shows up on all sorts of TV.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like Bobby Flay is so overrated, though. He's all about spices. He uses like the same spice palettes, like on everything.
Well, and
he's like, yeah, I just put salt and pepper on this, put it on the grill.
Or he's known for his signature shit. Like, there's always one blender with red shit and one with green shit on his side.
It's always like an herbal spice and then a pepper blend on the other one. Oh my god, dude.
People love him, man, though. They love his cooking.
I mean, for fuck's sake, the guy owns like 50 fucking restaurants. My brother used to work at one of his restaurants.
Oh, really?
And he was like, yeah, he wasn't like the main chef there or anything, but he was like, yeah, Bobby Flay's a dick.
Dude,
I could imagine.
He was hooking up with he had an affair with one of the other people he was on TV with.
Really?
And divorced his wife because of it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who I would love to see on Iron Chef is Gordon Ramsay.
See, okay, Gordon Ramsay is probably like my favorite celebrity chef. I think he's fucking awesome, and he refuses to
partake in shit like that.
But he's called out, like, Mario Batali used to be an Iron Chef, and he's like, that guy's a fucking joke. He can't cook for shit. And it's like, Gordon Ramsay's right, man. Gordon Ramsay, like, he's won more Michelin stars than any of those fucking people, you know? Like, he knows actually running a restaurant.
Well, Marco Pierre White, who was his original original mentor is also an insane chef.
Yeah.
And he's like, I saw some videos of him like, and with Gordon as like a young guy in the kitchen, you know, and he's a total dick too. So you can like see where they come from. But I think that Gordon Ramsay is not just a dick.
He's not a dick,
like,
man.
I think that he's just like a good businessman. He
knows
doesn't
how
put
to
up with
focus.
shit.
He knows how to focus people, is what it is. It's like, he's not a dick. If you ever watch an episode of like Kitchen Nightmares through to completion, he ends up caring for those people. Like, he doesn't want their restaurant
He cares
to
about
fail.
the food.
Yeah, and he doesn't want these people's lives to be torn apart and their restaurants to fail. But if they don't fucking listen, like, how can he help them?
Right.
You know?
No, well, the other show, too, is Kitchen Nightmares.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no,
I'm talking about
Hell's Kitchen is what I'm thinking of.
He's way more of a dick on that
But
show.
he's also shown, like, great moments of compassion.
Well,
where, like,
okay,
and,
look-
like, understanding where he just cares about the food and he's like, you know?
Have you seen MasterChef Junior? He's a judge on that, where it's the same as MasterChef, but all with young kids. And he's the nicest guy in the world on that show. Like, there was one time, like,
What if he was a
a
dick to
young
kids?
blind girl who was on the show.
I
Like,
thought that was on Hell's Kitchen.
no, that's
She makes-
MasterChef Junior.
She makes a pie,
Yeah,
and he's like, it's amazing.
yeah,
He's like, what does the crust feel like? And she's like, it's crispy, chef.
yeah.
It's funny how,
Oh,
like...
okay, no, wait, that's just MasterChef. That's not MasterChef.
Yeah, because she was
Junior.
older.
Yeah.
But it feels like, it's... I don't know. I was going to say it just feels like crazy when... I totally lost my train of thought, man. I'll get it back in a second.
Either way, the number
sorry.
one Kitchen Nightmares to go watch is Amy's Baking Company and The Return to Amy's Baking Company. It's the most
Amy's Baking Company?
It's the most infamous episode of Kitchen Nightmares ever. These people are fucking nuts. And they're still open, and it's like a tourist attraction. People to go to see just how crazy these people are.
Oh, and the food sucks, or what?
The food isn't terrible, and like Gordon didn't like some of the food, but he loved the desserts, and the kitchen was like spotless. And
But they're completely insane.
yeah, and Gordon's like, why is this place not working? Like, this should be working. Oh, it's these fucking nut jobs running it, you know?
They're just completely nuts.
Yeah.
Was that in America?
Yeah.
It's
in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay. I was going to say, I think that it's crazy how there's like a hierarchy in the kitchen, how they're always like, they have to address the chef as chef. Mm-hmm. They can't be like, yeah, I got that. Like, you know, they're like, yes, chef.
I love a
Yes.
later episode of Iron Chef. They team up 3 Iron Chefs versus 3 Australian cooks. And one of the Iron Chefs calls the other Iron Chef chef, and he's like, you don't have to call me chef, dude.
Because
He's like,
they're
call
all
me,
chefs.
Just call me Mark.
Because they're all chefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I'm saying though? Like,
Yeah.
even in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, when you watch that stuff happen, they're like, yes, chef. Of course, chef.
But he's more of a... He's like the guy he learned from. He's more of a classically trained chef.
Marco Pierre White.
Yeah. And it's like that's the type of attitude you have when you're in the kitchen. Like if you're not the chef in charge, like
You have to...
your goal is to be
It's
like,
like a
yes,
military,
chef. What do
like-
you need? Like,
Right.
yeah.
But then, okay, so when they're presenting the dishes to the judges, the chefs are always, like, very humble.
Yeah.
They're always, like, they take the criticism.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And they're like, why did you just thank him? He just totally, like, insulted your dish. He's like, well, so I can, like, learn more or something. I don't know.
One of my favorite judges is this guy named Simon Majumdar. He's the fucking best. Yeah, he's from the UK, and he's like the chairman has cited him as being the most intense culinary critic there is. Like,
How is that?
like he's the most hard on those chefs because he like this guy truly knows great food, and he's been a real food critic, and not just some judge on Iron Chef.
That
you know?
episode with Zakarian had the most lackluster judges, too.
That's
There
what
was,
I
like,
hate. Sometimes the judges suck.
They were like, this chick owns a restaurant in New York, and she's like, yeah, I don't think that I taste like the sardines very much in this one. And he's like, okay. Like, who the fuck are you? She, like, writes
Well,
for...
they have celebrities on it, and the celebrities
They're like
critique them.
it's like a B-list actress. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck cares, dude? Like, you don't have a palate. You know what I mean? Like, you ate a cheeseburger yesterday.
One of
you
the
know?
most frequent judges, I don't know if you've seen her yet, is Donatella Arpaia.
I think I have seen her. I
And
like her.
She's on all the time, but she knows food, man. And
I like
it's
her. She's
it's-
Italian.
I love to hear the judges who actually know what they're talking about critique the dishes.
Well, she had
you know?
like legitimate stuff to say.
Yeah.
But then there was another judge on that was like a writer for like Teen Vogue, and I was like, this is ridiculous, dude.
There's one lady who I hate, and she's like, they're always like, her palate is insured for $1 million. I'm like, okay, no.
What? Who
Karine Bakum. she's not nice. Like, she's nice. She's like overly. I don't know what it is about her. I don't like.
She's
her.
just a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's kind of crazy.
All right. Well, dude, we've talked about Iron Chef forever. What about what's going on other TV? We mentioned Mark Hamill for a second.
No, wait. Let's talk about. Okay, so on Friday, July 31st, the 8 episodes of Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp came out.
Yeah, I've watched some of it. You
I've
watched all of
8,
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Out of 10, how many stars do you give it?
8.
I have to agree with you, man. It's written really well, and I don't know if I've seen the original one, but
I don't even think the writing's that intelligent or great. It's real.
it's
quirky.
so fucking unintelligent that it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's fucking ridiculous. Dude, Jason Schwartzman eats like so much of that toxic waste.
No, he tastes it.
No,
then he gets a spoon, and then he's like, okay.
But it's like it's ridiculous.
He's like identifying the toxic
and then
waste.
what was the guy's name that's like in the military?
Christopher Maloney.
He's hilarious.
All the characters are so great. My only problem with it is there's too many great characters that sometimes I get a little like
overwhelmed,
flustered. Yeah.
You're
it's
like,
great.
wow, I can't believe that this guy's in this show. Like, holy! And then fucking, you have John Hamm, who is really funny too.
He plays the Falcon, Ronald Reagan's personal assassin.
Okay, you know what? This show is like totally. I think that so the original Michael Showalter was just in it, but this show is like produced by him. And
he wrote the original too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and David Wayne.
He's fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah. He's Coop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and David Wayne wrote the original movie and this show.
His girlfriend keeps like making him uglier. Wear the hat. He's like, you look like a total dill.
Diane, and she's like hooking up with the Israeli dude.
Yaron.
Yaron.
She's like all into Israeli life and shit.
She gets him one of those Jewish horns.
She gets everyone a Jewish horn.
And he's like, I thought this gift was special.
Dude, that's fucking hysterical, man. But
I love how they've killed, like, okay, wait. The spoilers here.
Okay.
A lot of the characters who weren't in the original movie, they're gone. Like, they don't make it through. Like, you know?
They die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, otherwise, I figured as much because otherwis how would it make sense?
It's
this
so
is a
satisfying when they die, though.
But Michael Showalter as Reagan is like when he's slapping Jonah Friedlander, he's like he starts like boxing him and fucking chokes him with the telephone cord and shit. It's totally in his like style, you know. I think
love
he's got great style.
Like at one point, fucking Amy Poehler is like, I'm 17 years old and I just lost my shit. Because that statement alone from Amy Poehler is just ridiculous.
She's so clearly like not.
She tells John Slattery's character, I can't have sex with you. I'm 17 years old.
Molly Shannon is also like really funny. She's
Gail?
Yeah. And she's like talking to that Asian dude he's been in so many different things too. And he's like, my name's Jeff. She's like, thank you, Jeff. He's like, no, call me by my other name. What is it? Jeff.
My middle name, Jeff.
It's also Jeff.
So your name is Jeff.
Call me Jeff. I don't know. That show is absolutely
You haven't
worth
seen
watching.
The Wedding yet, have you?
No.
Okay, yeah. That's coming up.
Is it great? What about like he's like the kid's like, I found these swim trunks with shit in them, and Michael Showalter's like, I'm Dolly Lily or something. He's like, I shit in everyone's swim trunks. You're going to play a game with
me. And the
me.
asshole Drew is like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I didn't know.
He's like, I've got my eye on you, dude. I like that there's like it's still kind of a coming of age thing though, in the sense that they have like the kids.
What's cool is, okay, so like all the really young kids replace their actors because then it would just be too comical, you know? Like the kid who runs the radio show, he was in the original movie. It was just played by a different actor, you know what I mean? So all the young kids, all the campers have been replaced by newer actors just because at this point, it's like, what are the 60-year-old, 40-year-old people going to play the 10-year-olds too?
Well, I mean, they had a kid in the original one who was on the radio as well, right?
Yeah, the Bumblebee guy.
Right, but okay, so I mean, they couldn't have like a 20-year-old guy doing.
They couldn't have the same actor doing because then it's just like, okay, we're taking this a little too far.
Right. I like that kid though doing that role. He's like, he's funny, man.
No, I'm saying it's a good thing. I like all the new actors they brought on to play the kids again. Bradley Cooper and Michael Ian Black. You haven't gotten far enough.
No, they're so homosexual.
Oh yes.
It's so obvious.
You've seen them practicing their zoot suit.
No,
routine.
not yet. But I see them. They're like, well, we should try this on. No time like the present, eh? He's like, oh, you don't know that you're talented yet. I see.
Bradley Cooper, man.
It was obvious from the moment that Bradley Cooper was on screen because he wouldn't kiss Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
And he's like, we should get lunch.
We should.
She's like, oh, really? Like, you know?
What's it called? Like, it's so crazy to see Bradley Cooper. Like, and he's played a wide range of roles. Like, he went from playing the guy, like, the mentally ill guy on Silver Linings Playbook to the asshole friend in The Hangover, and he voiced a fucking raccoon. And then he's playing Chris Kyle, an American hero, an American sniper. And then he comes to fucking this show, and he's playing this weird ass.
But he was in the original.
Yeah, he
one
was.
too.
He was. Most of those actors were.
What's really crazy is when you watch Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp, there are 3 characters from Mad Men. Okay. There's Rich Summer, who's like one of the dudes who's from Camp Tiger. Camp Tigerwood. He's one of the rich kids who's like not the main guy, but the other one. He's like, I feel like I could muster some push-ups myself.
Okay, yeah,
like,
Rich Summer's awesome, dude.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
man. I met that guy once at a bar in New York City, and I was like,
you know what he's known for is he's a master of tabletop games.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
like what does that mean?
Settlers of Catan and all those fucking tabletop games,
Like board games?
Board games, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. John Slattery, who is like appearing in more and more shows.
He's in Mad Men as well?
Dude, yeah. He's
I haven't watched Mad Men.
John Slattery is one of the main guys.
Okay,
he's
cool.
him and Don Draper. So him and John Hamm are like 2 of the main guys in Mad Men. And they're both like womanizers. And
obviously their characters from this show to that show are very different.
I'm just so surprised and kind of like really happy that John Slattery is getting all of these roles. Like he's in Ted 2, he's in Ant-Man, he's in this. It's like the guy's inescapable now.
Yeah.
And then John Hamm is fucking hilarious.
Either way, I recommend this. Like most people who've reviewed it have said that if you haven't seen the movie, you won't like it as much. I don't think that's true. I liked it just as much. I'm gonna go watch the movie.
Netflix said that I would only give it 2 stars.
Yeah,
but I really enjoy it. So anyway, moving on. You had mentioned.
Let's talk about.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Let's talk about Spider-Man.
Is this TV?
No, we're going into movies.
Okay.
Now. You have something else to say on TV?
No. I think that this is. You had mentioned Mark Hamill, but I think that's actually a movies thing.
Yeah, it's a movies thing. So Spider-Man. Hugh Laurie and Jason Biggs are going to be in it, in the new Spider-Man movie.
Jason Biggs from American Pie?
Yeah. I don't know what he could possibly play.
Uncle Ben.
No, what? He's not old enough.
Dude, what if they
Hugh Laurie could play Uncle Ben.
Who's Hugh Laurie?
The dude who played House. Like.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
And he's been in so much British shit. He's a great actor.
Dude, if Jason Biggs is a villain...
No, come on. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in it, I'm guessing, as Iron Man. They've talked... Okay, this is really
I thought he wasn't going to do any more movies.
Apparently he is.
Of course he is. They're like, we'll pay you millions of dollars. He's like, okay.
You know what's awesome, though, is it's not going to come before Civil War, though. But in the comics, Spider-Man becomes a real ally of Iron Man until the end, when he realizes, like, what an idiot Tony Stark is. But
until everyone realizes.
Yeah, Tony Stark is the one who convinces Peter to remove his mask and let the public know who he is and whatnot. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some of that going on in this movie, considering Iron Man's going to be in it.
This is going to be like, what, 2018 that we're going to see this movie?
Is it that late?
Or maybe 2017.
They also talked about how there are no origin elements in this story.
Thank God.
It's going to and
it's
what
they're just jumping right in.
Okay, so a lot of people have said this, and I tend to agree. Tobey Maguire kind of got the nerdy part of Peter Parker down, and Andrew Garfield was just way too cool and good-looking to be Peter Parker. So it's like they want this new Peter Parker
to be a cool medium,
to be really true to the Golden Age Spider-Man, which I don't have a problem with, because one of the few Golden Age comics that I actually like compared to the rest of them is Spider-Man, because nothing really changed much.
Well, I think that Marvel and DC had their moments, and Marvel's Golden Age was a lot better than DC's.
Oh yeah, by far.
DC's Golden Age was silly because it was a different time. DC's golden age happened when there was all of that censorship for comic books and shit.
Well, I felt like the artwork during Marvel's golden age was also a lot better.
It was a lot better. Yeah. I mean, you've got to give it to Marvel in that sense, you know. DC, like, they had the Joker and he was just a prankster who was, like, taking candy from kids. And, like, haha, you know?
But I'm glad that, like, okay, so it's not... I can't remember the actor's name. It's the kid from The Impossible. We've talked about it before. I feel like
we'll all know his name by the time he's like this becomes promoted a little bit more. Who's gonna? I wonder if they're gonna have a Mary Jane. They're gonna have
or a Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy element. You think there's gonna be any love interest? What if they introduce a new love interest?
You know, I don't know how I feel about that. I think this movie
really
needs to stay away from Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane. Stay away from the origin elements.
What if he's like really interested in Aunt May?
I mean, in all honesty, this
like,
movie
Aunt
needs
May,
to focus
something about you.
on Spider-Man and what he means to the greater MCU. Because until now, we don't have that right now. You
don't
know?
think there's
we have those shit-stained Sam Raimi movies, which I don't like. You guys know this.
They had their moments. They had some. Hey, there were some good parts.
I preferred the ones with Andrew Garfield.
They weren't 100% terrible. There were some good parts.
And the ones with Andrew Garfield are not that.
I thought that the first Spider-Man with Sam Raimi was actually good. I thought
it's definitely the best one,
where Norman's killed with the glider and he's like, like.
But then the second one, it's like Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, and I love Alfred Molina.
Well, they
he's
got
a great
campier
actor,
and campier.
But it's like that whole movie was terrible.
Alfred Molina as Doc Ock just doesn't really make sense.
The third one is unwatchable, dude.
Yeah, it's really, really bad.
Like Topher Grace as Venom.
That's cute. Jason Biggs as Venom.
No, that's worse.
Could you imagine?
Oh.
What, like,
he has to call his like Jewish dad, and it's like it's what's his name, Eugene Levy.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god! And that woman who plays Stifler's mom.
Yeah. Oh, she's hot.
No, she's not. Dude.
She's in the TV show right now that's called.
She is hilarious.
Two Broke Girls. Have you ever watched any of that?
I've heard that it's really good.
It's pretty funny, but she's one of the recurring characters on that show.
I think that it's like one of those girls is like David Mamet's daughter.
Well, one of them is the God. I can never Kat
Dennings.
Kat Dennings.
Yeah,
yes.
she's kind of hot. I think.
Yeah, she's cool.
Kind of attracted to Kat Dennings, but yeah. So I'm excited to see the new Spider-Man. See what happens. I'm really excited for Civil War because. Hopefully there's no Spider-Man origin elements there, too. We don't need it.
No, it's totally not necessary. I feel like if Spider-Man appears in Civil War, which it's already, pretty much confirmed that he will be, that it's not...
Like, there's this guy in New York City.
Well, no. I feel like I've mentioned
how are they
before,
going to introduce him?
Spider-Man's relationship with Iron Man is important, and him unmasking himself is an important part to Civil War. It may not happen in the movie, but whatever happens, Spider-Man is an important part of Civil War.
I mean, Spider-Man's going to have an adequate introduction, though. Like, how are they going to introduce him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as it stands? Because the previous Spider-Man movies don't exist in this MCU.
They don't.
So they're going to, like, these, as it stands right now, like, we just watched Ant-Man, they don't know that that Spider-Man even exists.
No.
Do they? I mean, I don't think he's on their radar.
The Spider-Man he does exist in the MCU. We know that much. It's other characters have mentioned him, or how there's a superhero in New York City.
They have mentioned that?
Yes, he's been mentioned.
Aren't they talking about Daredevil?
No.
Okay.
Because he's not. They don't in the Marvel universe. Hell's Kitchen is almost separate from New York in a way. Like it is New York. We all know it is New York, but Hell's Kitchen is so distinct that it's kind of its own thing.
Did you hear Netflix said that they're going to produce a new Marvel series every 6 months?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We already know...
Because Daredevil was so wildly successful.
When did Daredevil came out? Beginning of April?
Yeah.
And
AKA
it's going to take a little more, because we're not getting that till December, they say.
Jessica Jones?
Yeah. So that's about 8 months.
And David Tennant in that.
They'll probably get...
It's going to be good.
If they get on a 6 month content cycle with Marvel shit, okay, I'm cool with that.
Oh, I'm totally fine with it. Because
we have our other DC shows that are still going. Those aren't going anywhere.
That's going to hold me over from the DC stuff while I'm like waiting. I can guarantee that Legends of Tomorrow is going to be the shit.
It's probably going to be pretty.
It's going to be a blast.
Speaking of DC,
Mark Hamill.
Let's talk about this. The Killing Joke.
One of the greatest Batman stories of all time.
Exactly. It's it's where we see kind of like we see Batgirl's origin in a way. Like she's already Batgirl, but we see her trauma, and getting shot by the Joker.
We see Oracle's origin.
Exactly. And
we see, and that was like one of the first stories where the Joker was like really like,
sinister.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
like he came back with vengeance,
And so one thing we love, of course, is Mark Hamill's going to be, coming back as the Joker for this. There's also talks that Kevin Conroy will be voicing Batman.
Good.
Which I'm really happy about. After getting him back in Arkham Knight, it's like he's the best Batman voice there is, hands down.
Agreed.
Because like everyone after that, even like Michael Keaton and whatnot, and Claude Van Damme, or not Claude Van Damme. What the fuck? Oh, what's his name?
Claude Van Damme is Batman.
Who am I thinking of? Val Kilmer. They look similar.
No. They don't look similar.
So
you're crazy.
So
dude.
like all those Batmans have kind of taken from that Kevin Conroy voice and tried to like make it more powerful, but
definitely Christian Bale.
But you know what? We'll never know what he truly sounded like because they added that in with special effects afterwards.
What?
The groveliness of his voice was added in with special effects.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I also wanted to watch the Dark Knight trilogy again.
Yeah, go for it.
Good.
That's good shit. No, I mean, I love those movies, but as a
very
DC
true.
fan, they bother me.
Yeah, but they're
Like,
still good movies on their own.
Dude, very good.
Standalone.
As
a Batman
most
fan,
people will
it's
say
not.
Dark Knight is their favorite, but I honestly think Dark Knight Rises is probably my favorite.
I like Dark Knight, I think, better.
Yeah.
But I don't like the way they portrayed Two-Face. I also like Ra's al Ghul in the first one, too. I think that it's good. I like... Dude, Liam Neeson's?
Yeah, it's good, but I just like...
And then the train, you got the train, and then the motherfucking thing, and you like...
the whole League of Shadows thing, and like...
it should have been League of Assassins.
Like, the whole way they operate, like, it's not...
It's not
like, I love League of Assassins and Arrow because it's portrayed so true to the comics.
But it's
like,
Nolan's Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
the
like,
Nolan versus...
Can you imagine if Kevin Smith did his own Batman thing? It would be a total shit show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you, like, read about this. Did I send you the picture of, like, that was supposed to be Brainiac for Kevin Smith's, like, Superman Batman thing or whatever?
No.
It was fucking Christopher Walken as, like...
as Brainiac?
Yes!
What?
It was Christopher Walken's head with, like, spider legs.
No.
It looked fucking ridiculous, dude.
I mean, Christopher Walken does not possess the capacity to play Brainiac.
Whoa! Kryptonian! Wow!
Lex Luthor,
Lex,
you're gonna work for
hey,
me.
Whoa! I can't believe it! Bam! Like, dude, fucking... I don't even know if Jesse Eisenberg's gonna do a great job, but...
Who's the guy who played Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen? He could totally rock a Brainiac.
But it's kind of the same character, man.
No. Way different character.
Hello, Kryptonian. Like, I love Brainiac, man.
Brainiac's so... Like, he's a
detached.
machine, and he's so detached and deadpan, and it's like...
But Dr. Manhattan was human at one point.
Yeah,
But
he
is
has more
kind of,
emotion.
It's
but
kind of like similar. There's a
very
lot
similar,
of like
yeah.
there's a lot of like overlaps right there. I want to see like them do justice to Brainiac. I want him to be menacing. I feel like Ultron was very human. Like there were a lot of Tony Stark elements to Ultron where Brainiac should have none of that.
Brainiac can't be like that.
He needs to be totally alien and like not give a shit about anything.
His whole mind is conquering and furthering
and knowledge.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Dark Knight. I really hope that they do justice to this story, and I think that they will because the way that like DC has been doing their animated features lately has been gritty and fucking awesome.
Oh man,
and
like
I'm so excited for this.
I know someone who said Gods and Monsters was their favorite DC animated movie ever.
I don't know.
Have you watched the full one?
Have you?
No.
Me neither.
Okay, we should probably watch that. But I
But
don't
I
know,
saw
man.
pieces of it, and I was like, oh.
Batman versus Robin is like the most
So
true
good.
thing to the comics I think they've ever put. Like the way Batman looks and his suit in that movie are perfect. Like everything about Batman in that movie is perfect.
Well, I think it's Jay Oliva though, and I don't think that he was really involved in Gods and Monsters. I don't know if he was the one who directed it.
No, wasn't most of it Bruce Timm?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but like I think that Jay Oliva is getting better and better with like I thought that Throne of Atlantis was also good.
It's
it was
pretty good.
Not the comic at all. You can but that's a good thing because you can read the comic and be like, whoa, dude, this is a totally different thing.
Or true.
You still have incentive. Like you could still read Court of Owls and be like, damn, this is fucking sick too.
So my
You know?
top 3 animated DC movies are probably Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, which is like my all-time favorite one. The battle between Supergirl and fucking Darkseid is ridiculous. And Under the Red
Pretty good.
Hood, man.
Big Barda is great in that one.
Under the Red Hood is probably number 2 for me, just because it's like they didn't
so
tell the
disagree
story
with that.
exactly the way it should have been, but it was really good. The voice acting could have been better.
Yeah.
Batman versus Robin, definitely number 3 for me. I don't know.
Batman versus Robin, and then okay, which one was the one that started out with toy or doll maker? Was that Batman versus
That's
Robin?
Batman versus Robin.
Okay, and then what was the other one? Batman and Robin?
The one that came before it?
Son of Batman.
Son of Batman,
Which
yeah.
was like, okay, it was like a prequel.
Yeah, it was
just
more about
okay.
Raish and Damian than anything.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Diana hates that one. Because she just hates Damien.
Yeah.
I like Damien.
A lot of people don't. I like Damian too. I think he's like...
He's a ballsy kid, man.
Yeah, and he's a different Robin than anything that's come before him.
And they have to do that, though. Why would they have another Robin that's exactly like Tim Drake?
Or, yeah, do we really need
Or
another
another Jason
egotistical Dick Grayson or some shit? Like, come on, let's do this a little different. And it's like, I really like that he's the offspring of Talia al Ghul and Batman, dude. Like,
How badass is
what?
that?
Right? He was born to fuck shit up.
Like, I'm gonna say, okay, so right now I'm still reading all of the Blackest Night tie-ins, which has become extremely arduous. Like, if you guys ever get the chance to read Blackest Night, just stick to the main ones, because like all of the rest of the stories are so like it's kind of inconsequential to the main storyline.
They really only add shit if you're actively reading that other series, because then you kind of get more fulfillment out of them.
Well, I've read all of Blackest Night. But
the tie-ins is what I'm
you
saying.
You have to read all of the series.
Yeah.
Like, so I've read some of the Batman of that time, and Batman's dead, so it's Dick Grayson who's Batman.
Which is that only happened for a very short time.
Well, I mean, all of those guys have died and come back to life
Yeah.
like so many times. Like Barry's died, got lost in the Speed Force, died again, came
Yeah.
back. But that's like the awesome thing about the DC characters is like they are like gods in a sense. They come back and they're just as powerful as before. They like even more experienced.
Yeah.
So Batman was the skull that summoned all of the black rings. Like they said it was Bruce Wayne's skull. And I mean, it's the Blackest Night tie-ins were just okay. Like I'm reading Titans right now, and Garth was like a big part, who was like Aquaman's.
He was Aqualad originally in the comics. Yeah.
And he is like so fucking boring. Like I can't like I don't know, man.
That's
hard to
why
read
I was so
Aquaman.
glad in Young Justice that it wasn't Garth instead of Calderon, because Calderon was so much better. as
Calderon
Aqualad.
has so much more depth as a character, because he's like, I don't know, Garth is good too. I love Mira, I like a lot of, but they're like the whole story for the prequel to like the Blackest Night thing going in on Titans was like Garth was talking about Atlantis and there was a mermaid, and he was like well, Mira's really mad at everyone, so she's off on like some other part or whatever. And he was like, I visit Dick Grayson from time to time. He always looks the same, even though he's wearing a different suit. And it's like, come on, dude. Like some of the DC writing is like can be really shallow.
Yeah.
Like when it's good, it's fucking great. But when
That's
it's
why.
bad,
Well, I think that's what's great about things like Arkham Knight is like it takes Batman and it takes like all these characters that revolve around him and like really, no expenses hold back.
no expenses barred.
Yeah. Like, literally everything they could possibly do to tell the best story they can was done, and I really appreciate that.
Did you see that photo of Kevin Conroy in Times Square where he's like, Arkham Knight?
No.
You haven't seen that? He's like so stoked to be Batman. I love
I
that.
think it's awesome that they got both him and Mark Hamill for that game. It really is awesome.
I still want to play it.
You should. I mean, the array of characters in that game is just fantastic.
They have a bunch of the Batman characters, right?
Professor Pig, like, the Man-Bat, Hush, like, all sorts of great Batman shit is fucking...
It was kind of a love letter to Batman, too.
It really is, man. And you get that when you play it. If you're a true fan of Batman, you will really get that when you play this.
So that's
even though
recommended.
most people hate the tank battles, which
What are tank battles? So you're in the Batmobile?
Yeah, the Batmobile has like an instant mode to switch into a tank. where it just
Okay.
like the wheels extend out, the tank cannon comes out and whatnot.
Do you see any other heroes? Like, is like Superman in it?
The only other hero you really see is Azrael, and he's not
He's a
even
Bat
really
Family.
hero. Well, at this point in that universe, he's not Bat Family.
Oh, really?
No.
I would have liked to kind of. I mean, I wish that they would make another game that's kind of like that level, but with another like Green Lantern.
Yes.
Like on that
a lot
level
of
would
people
be
are
the
saying
shit.
Green Arrow, dude.
That would be fucking awesome.
Archer, like it would need to have the perfect mix of like brawling type, like Batman stuff, and archery and trick arrows. Like, you know, if there's no archery and trick arrows, it's not a Green Arrow.
I mean,
game.
but they would have to make the archery like easy and not like
No.
get to like, dude, it would like you want it to go to another screen with like a fucking cross, like an air or what's it called, a bullseye or some shit.
No.
You have to like you'd spend like 5 minutes trying to aim.
No. I feel like it should be. It should just be like free flowing. Like you have a target.
Like,
it's like
and you could just like GTA,
like GTA or like Far Cry 4.
but
when
you could
shoot
choose
arrows.
your trick arrows.
Yeah.
for sure.
Or like just press a different button to shoot a trick arrow. You
But
know?
also, like, well, if they did Green Arrow, then they could have a lot of like other characters in it too. Because like, I can't imagine there being like a whole game as immersive as Arkham Knight for just Green Arrow.
Yeah, I mean, his rogues aren't nearly as great as Batman. Like, fucking...
Count Vertigo?
The names I mentioned, like Hush, Man-Bat, Professor Pig, Firefly, like...
Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze.
Well, Poison Ivy's kind of your ally throughout the whole Arkham Knight thing.
She's also, I mean, well, you read
She's-
in game too. She's kind of an ally there too.
She totally redeems herself in Arkham Knight.
really?
Yeah. She goes full good.
She's kind of. I'd kind of get down with Poison Ivy.
And in Arkham Knight, she's, like, really...
She gives me wood.
She's earthy. Like, she's got, like, shit growing on her and shit.
That's the way that she's portrayed in a lot of the video games.
Yeah.
Though in DCUO,
Yeah.
remember she was like growing, like she was totally.
That's
evil
way
in
more
that.
hardcore.
Yeah, but she's like totally evil in that too.
Yeah.
That's a good game too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth. I don't know, but Green Arrow would have to have like some incorporation from maybe the Atom or Blue Beetle or like the Flash might be
Yeah.
good. I don't know if the Flash and Green Arrow really even team up.
No, not that much.
Oh, definitely Black Canary though.
I mean, the Flash like more hangs out with GL and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, for
they're
sure.
kind of buddies. Like
They're
him
butt
and Hal
buddies.
are buddies. Yeah,
They're fucking butt buddies, dude.
they got a little bromance going. But I don't think a Flash game would be very fun. Like, it would kind of get old, like just running around everywhere all super fast.
I don't know. They could make it cool. Like you could utilize the Speed Force and go to like different cities or some
Well,
shit.
yeah,
Fight
and
crime.
you need to be able to do like the tornadoes, like the wind tunnels and whatnot that he can create.
Flash has like cool rogues. Too.
He does. His rogues are really cool.
And then you have like he has major villains. Arrow doesn't have major villains like that.
Wonder Woman game would probably be the best.
Why?
Out of all of those? Because I think like she's a warrior, you know. So I feel like the gameplay would be more. Like,
You would have like
focused.
Ares and Hades and shit
Dude,
like
that'd be
that.
awesome if they told. I was thinking more of just like,
Cheetah is a
Yeah.
big time villain.
but not. I wouldn't do Cheetah if they were gonna focus on all the gods, you know.
I mean, honestly,
You could have like Raven and Trigon in it too, with like Ares and Hades.
they're
and
demons though.
No, I know, but they know each other.
Yeah. Then you would incorporate some like Brother Blood and
Yeah.
like or
John Constantine.
Felix Faust, and then it's like a fucking Justice League Dark game.
Yes. Oh, dude, Justice League Dark game.
That would be the shit.
You play as like Zatanna.
It would be
Deadman.
more ideal to have a game like that with and then incorporate Wonder Woman when you fight the gods at some point.
I wouldn't even need Wonder Woman in a game like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on.
Could be an investigation kind of thing going on too, or
I mean,
like
the
mystery.
the powers that all those people have, like, would be so fun to play as in a video game.
I would like to see Zatara too, though. Like,
Yeah.
Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Or
dude.
what if it was like a whole game about like a war between chaos and order? Like, oh my god, that could be crazy.
These are all DC. These are all options for you guys. I mean, we
We can
want
have them for free.
Yeah, just give us good games. We'll even pay you for them.
So we have one story left. You want to
Sponsor
talk
us.
about it? We watched the trailer for 200 Lander.
Oh yeah, Zoolander. Yeah,
For Zoolander 2.
no, yeah, totally. Zoolander 2.
At first, it's not clear that it's Zoolander 2. Like, it's one of those automated robot voices talking. I didn't realize I was watching a trailer for Zoolander, until it said 3 plus 4 equals 34. And E equals MC Hammered.
I feel like Zoolander was like a good thing on its own.
Once.
Who knows? It may be surprising, but what is it that you said, which is like the most valuable comment about this whole thing that I can say? Fool me once with Dumb and Dumber 2. Fool me twice with Zoolander.
That's
fault.
not even mine. Someone posted that on YouTube. I never saw the new Dumb and Dumber.
I didn't either, but I heard it was awful.
Yeah, I don't plan on ruining what I know and love with that shit.
I mean, I don't think that I would spend the money to go see this. I
already watched the one with Eric Christian Olsen. That was like
so bad
8 years ago.
And then fucking Bob Saget's like,
and
there's shit everywhere.
Eugene Levy.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, you want to make a bad movie?
He's the bad guy. He's the villain.
You want to make a bad movie? Here's a recipe. Throw Eugene Levy in there.
Well, okay, I don't think that's fair. He's kind of like, he's cool.
He's okay. What was that movie about? It was about like a country band. He was in like a bluegrass band. A Mighty Wind is what it was called. That. You haven't seen that? I think that the woman from American Pie is also in it.
Which one?
Stifler's mom.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, but like, don't quote me on
Wait,
that.
Poor woman. What's her real name?
She's shucks fuck awesome.
She was in Legally Blonde. Like she's been.
Oh
in a bunch
yeah,
of shit.
totally. She's been in a bunch. But that movie is good. A Mighty Wind is good.
Okay.
Eugene Levy's had some good movies, but God, he just like gets into. He's like
her name is Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he just gets so typecast, I feel. It's all American Pie's fault. Yeah. They're like, let's cast him
After
as
he
like the
fucked
weird...
that pie, things were never the same.
He never fucked the pie. Jason Biggs fucked the pie. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, why would he fuck the pie? He was like, he came down and he was like...
ate the pie that was fucked.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Did he really? No.
He didn't.
He was like, damn, Jennifer Coolidge on her Wikipedia page looks pretty sexy.
Dude, what did I say, man?
She's not bad looking.
She's a hot older woman.
Finch banged Stifler's mom, dude. I don't know.
Shit break?
I don't know. She was in Zoolander as well. Did you know that?
I don't remember.
She was American designer. But yeah, she was in A Mighty Wind, which was from 2003. And, I mean, yeah, so... That's a pretty good one. I just don't think that, like... I mean, so Vacation got terrible reviews. Alex and I were going to go watch it this week, but
I didn't get terrible reviews, did it? It's like 50-50.
Dude, it has like 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah, well, critics' reviews.
Well, that means 3/4 of the critics don't like it.
Some of the critics said that it was hysterical beyond belief, like they laughed their asses off the whole time. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's got a really low number of reviews, man. Only 99 critic reviews? That's really low.
I mean, how many critics normally review things?
I mean, I've seen them as high as 250.
Really?
Yeah.
Critics. Like professional critics.
Exactly.
I also saw user reviews on it.
Ooh, the audience score isn't great either.
Yeah, the audience...
61%.
Well, that's not terrible.
For an audience score, like...
So there was an audience review that said... Some guy was like, why did they make this movie? Like, what's the excuse? So, I mean, maybe the review is bad because people are judging it
Mission Impossible instead?
I really don't have any desire to watch that either.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to see that?
Kind of.
I mean, I just don't think that, like, it's probably going to be good.
93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they paid for that shit.
The audience score is 92%.
Really?
Yeah.
So it must be great.
I've heard it's good.
Dude, fucking Tom Cruise hasn't had like a shitty movie since.
He knows action movies, man. Like, I'll give him that.
He knows, I think that he's good at movies in general.
Yeah,
like, he was in Eyes Wide Shut is a good movie. I mean, that's fucking Stanley Kubrick. And
I liked the first
like
Mission Impossible, but the second and third, not so much. The newest one before this was okay. Ghost Protocol?
I saw that too. I enjoyed it. It's like heavy action.
Yeah, it really is.
Did you ever watch that movie, The Game, with Michael Douglas?
I don't think so.
Like, I don't remember. Oh my god, I looked it up on I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it's like the rapper.
Oh no, not what we're looking for.
But yeah, Sean Penn, Michael Douglas. It was directed by David Fincher.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie as well. For some reason, it reminded me of Tom Cruise and Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
But that's a movie that's like, I remember watching it like the whole way through and thinking like, holy shit. I watched it as a kid and thought it like blew because I couldn't grasp it.
Yeah.
It's like David Fincher's movies we're kind of over the head of a 5-year-old child, you know?
Yeah.
It's like watching Fight Club and trying to understand the whole thing, being like, oh, like, why is he banging this chick? When in reality, it's like, not Tyler Durden, but actually fucking Edward Norton's character.
Yeah.
You know, going completely batshit crazy on drugs and making soap from fat. You know? But anyway, we've talked forever.
This is pretty much our show.
That's been our show. It's been a long episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
You got some shit to plug?
I'm Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOW''D. You can find more about me at facebook.com/officialdownload. Listen to my music at soundcloud.com/download. Listen to my Kashmir remix. I don't think that you can vote for it anymore. If you find that you can, then go ahead and drop a vote. It would mean a lot. But more importantly, go to my Instagram page. It's instagram.com/download. You'll find a link to vote for me in the DJ Mag Top 100. There's still time to do that. And you vote for me and 4 of your other favorite DJs, whether they're Deadmau5, Avicii, Noel Gallagher from Oasis.
Is he a DJ?
No.
Oh, I was going to be like, this whole thing is fucking irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, no, but you could vote for someone like Tom York, who is a DJ. I mean, you could vote for... just look up, I mean, whoever, Hardwell, Alesso, but if you include me in your top 5 DJs, it would really, really mean a lot. And... just, you know, if you feel like tweeting me as well, you can tweet me at Downlow'd here. It's DOWNLOWDHERE. I'll be sending out the rest of these stickers in the next month. I know that a bunch of you guys probably got yours already. If you haven't gotten them, you'll be receiving them in the next week. But I've got about 75 stickers or letters I still need to send out, so just be expecting those soon. It's been really busy for me, so I'm taking care of that. Anyway, Alex is going to tell you about Macro Records and all of the cool stuff that we have going on right now.
If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes. It would be most appreciated. Help get the show into the ears of other listeners. We will also read your review live on the show.
We haven't gotten any new reviews, I guess.
No, I just checked right now. No new reviews, but if you want us to read your comments, we'll mention your name too. Go leave us a review on iTunes. It'll be most appreciated. If you want to tweet us, we also will read tweets on the show. Tweet us at Macro Records and use hashtag the Macrocast so we know you're tweeting about the show. And we could possibly read your tweets out live on the show. Go to thisismacro.com. It's up for another week or so. It'll probably be going down in a week after that. And we'll start construction on the new site. So we'll keep you updated.
And then we'll have the new site and the store and all of that good stuff up and ready to go.
We shall keep you updated with that. That's pretty much it.
Before you know it.
We'll see you next
week.
week.
And do we have a track for this week?
It's just something generic.
Oh, something generic? It's something that
You know what we'll play? We'll play Castra Download Remix.
Okay, Castra, move your feet, download. Thank you. All right, download remix. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right.
You all have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Come on, everybody, get down tonight.